Did it work? Hopefully?
Let,
Maybe?
let's see. I mean, the stream does take a minute to catch up.
This is true. This is timing. What does that mean?
What is time? What is a man?
Miserable pile of secrets.
But enough talk. Have at you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live stream.
Yes. Welcome to the live stream. It's lovely to be with you on this Monday afternoon.
Yeah. Happy tax day. Happy all that other stuff. Let us know if the audio is wonk or weird or have at you.
Yeah.
Hello, Zion.
Wait, Shion? From Kingdom Hearts? In our chat?
It's more likely than you think.
Welcome.
Yes, we are playing the Secrets of the Machine and uncovering all the secrets.
So many secrets in this place. The secretive place. How did the line go for Meatley's Storage World?
There's just so many secrets, just like that one secret. Oh, I hope nobody's reading this, because then they too would know about the secret. So many secrets.
Honest to good. that was such a fun time.
Yeah.
This. I'm sorry, I'm still sending links.
Hey, all good. That's why we have our little chill out while we chit and chat here, while we get everything set and more people to come in. So that way we can all give the
Enjoy the secrets together.
exactly. And so there's very minimal repeatedity. Because we got to do some disclaimers.
Oh, we have disclaimers. Oh, that's very important.
Yep. How are you, Cat?
I'm existing. Existing in space. Oh, man. So, full disclosure, I know what's going on in this game. Beth does not.
Yep.
I am here knowing the secrets and reliving the secrets. And it was a fun time yesterday with all the secrets. We had so much. Oh my god. Um but man, wow. It's a time to be a Bendy fan, regardless of this game. It is a time to be a Bendy fan. There is
Yeah.
so much going on.
Actually, hold on. Let's see.
How has it been 7 years since the original game first started releasing?
There we go. Hey, there we go. Yeah, it's old enough to go to school, ride a
It's
bike.
old enough to be a first grader. I'm gonna pack Bendy's little backpack and with a little sandwich in it. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. Little bendy themed lunchbox set. I don't. You figure with bacon soup being the meme food, they would have at least tried to make a thermos.
You know, I am kind of surprised that that never happened. That there was never like a mug like that. At least, like we got a bacon soup backpack once, and that was cool.
Yeah.
But
No
yeah, no,
thermos.
nothing else.
Admittedly, the merch of Bendy is very weird, very random.
It's all over the place. But like sometimes we get some really good stuff out of it.
Sion says, my machine is full of secrets.
Oh. Oh my. Very full of secrets.
So many secrets.
So many secrets of the machine. We gotta build it up, or we die tonight,
Something, something,
or
something,
something like that.
something, something. I'm not playing the song because I don't want to anger the YouTube gods.
Honestly, honestly. Oh, so is there anything that you're hopeful for? I mean, I can't tell you whether or not it's, but do you have any predictions?
My predictions for the secrets of the machine. I am it's from the what whisperings I've heard, and I there's like one or two like half spoilers that I've seen, but for the most part I've been pretty much blind to everything. Um, and they're all like out of context spoilers too, so it's like
Oh,
I'm very looped out of the loop. But
that's okay.
it my predictions are playable teaser. So this is akin to like the PT Silent Hill, where it's a playable teaser, but not a full fledged game.
Hmm, yeah,
Um, there's I hope we get some, you know, information regarding Bendy and like the sense of more the occult animation studio stuff than focusing on the Ghent aspect. I mean, yes, this is focused on Ghent, but it's like I'm assuming this is going to be our transition from we're focusing on Bendy and the animation studio to Ghent.
gotta
So
love the Gent Corporation,
you will love the Ghent Corporation.
or so help me.
Exactly. Um, I I feel like we're gonna, if anything, we'll get more names. Whether these names are important or not important, we'll find out together. Um, and I predict that this is going to recontextualize a lot of shenanigans that happened in Bat DM and Bat PR. And whether that's a good thing or not, we'll find out at the end.
You know, those are some good predictions. I like that.
Yes. All right. So I think we'll go ahead and why is it okay? Sorry, I'm noticing things on the YouTube live stream thing. So whatever. And I don't know what they mean, but we'll find out together. I guess in like 45 minutes if it because the yeah weird things going on. Let's go ahead and jump to disclaimers. Just
Ooh,
so
what are the disclaimers?
we've got a flashing lights warning. Um, that is the spoiler. You told me that there is flashing lights. Should be careful of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Bendy, you know, from what I understand, the usual Bendy related warnings apply, like body horror,
Yeah,
cartoon violence,
the huge
the usual. Um,
Bendy expected violence. Can that be a tag?
um, also, in regards to the game, the version I am playing the version that I downloaded at 8:40 a.m. yesterday, so 4 hours after the game released,
So
more or
you
less.
have a really early version. Oh
Yes,
my.
and I have not updated it since because apparently there was an update that happened that I believe has been fixed that bricked the game.
Well, it's not that it borked the game. I can't really explain it without spoiling what it was, though. So, but I'll tell you later when we get to that point if you would like to know. But
Okay.
it was a very interesting choice of update. That's all I can say on the matter for now.
Oh boy, that sounds exciting. So yeah,
It
I am playing a the reasonably early version of the game, so I probably don't have all the secrets or all the special ooh or whatever.
yeah, but you may
Um,
actually have some secrets that I haven't seen yet.
cool. I'm
Mhm.
probably gonna keep my game unupdated until it's like unavailable.
Mhm.
Hello, Colonian Pikov. Hopefully I said that right. Hello. Um, yeah. So I will probably keep my game as the unupdated version to use as reference.
Yeah. I'm told that there are new secrets in the most updated version because it updated again, I think around 10:30 this morning, or at least that's when I was informed about it. So we will not be delving into those today. But you know what? I hope that those of you that can play are enjoying those.
All right. So from what I understand, I just pull up the game and it just dumps me in the place. No fun cutscenes, no nothing.
Nope. Just dumps you in.
All right.
And it's gonna be loud.
All right, we're gonna find that out together. So I do have to admit, and this is just my personal opinion, and I guess this could tie into a sort of secondary um disclaimer. I will be there will be some salt thrown here and there um towards the devs. I personally am just I have thoughts, and we'll leave those thoughts for later. But there's going to be some salt here and there. Um,
Yeah, that's why I'm here. I'm the sugar.
yeah. I just want to make mention that the icon that I have for Bendy Secrets of the Machine is so derpy looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me get a little screen cap and do the thing and show it to the world.
I was gonna say I wonder if it's the same as mine.
Oh yeah, we'll find out together and just stream with
Yeah,
every.
it's the same. It has not changed at all. It's like I feel like what they were going for was with it is like those drawings of Joey and Audrey at the end of the Bat DR credits, like that kind of style, or just basically just the credits of all the Bendy games. They all have this sketchy style. I think that's the intention, but it's really hard to tell on this small scale.
It's I'm putting it in the I'm bringing up the image. Give me one moment, guys. Key. Then we're gonna browse. So this is the icon. I'm putting it on the screen. Hello, citizen. Um, yeah, this is the desktop icon for Secrets of the Machine. I gotta say,
A
cert-
choice.
it is a choice. It is an established. Um, it it gives me vibes of I'm trying to remember the games off the top of my head, but they're like indie horror games where you play a test subject or you're taking a test and it's very classic indie horror of here's all the troubles and
Yeah.
secrets and stuff.
Well, let's see if it fits the vibe.
All right, give me 1 second and I'll get this loaded.
All right.
Sorry, 1 sec. It started downloading. It's
No, why would it do that to you? Rude.
I yeah, and so I'm trying to figure out why it is doing that. It should not be doing that. I did not have auto updates on.
We did not consent.
Yeah, this is
For everything purely because we. No, it would not. That would be.
okay. Give me like half a second. I'm gonna try Joey Drew Studios team about how they're handling
Oh
their game.
no.
Because so help me, if I can't play the game, that yes, technically is free, but if it downloads a bunch of crap, I may not have a choice. What is even the fuck? It's running. I was all put together. Okay, task manager. Okay.
We will. It will be fine.
Okay. Come on. Oh, hey, there we go. I think I got it to work. Let me put this properties up. All right. Can you all see it?
That delay, I tell ya.
Okay, her laughing. Why is this not working now? Ah! So many things. Okay. Whoa, jeez. Okay, I don't. Hold on a second. I gotta.
Oh,
Okay.
I think we're getting there.
All right, we're pausing. Where is the stupid? There is.
Hey Nuva. Thank you.
Hi, Nuva.
Okay.
Sorry, give me a
Okay,
second.
we can see the game. We can see you moving your mouse. This is great.
Also
Yeah.
funny, haha. 4.1 version 0.4, so it probably updated.
Oh, wait. What version is it again?
B414.
That's the version I was playing last night.
Okay.
But that's not right.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's see what happens. What secrets are in this machine?
Okay. Also, I cannot look at any of the stuff. There's no option for
You
me
can.
to have a smaller screen. What the?
Yeah, I couldn't find one either. I'm so sorry. I will keep an eye on the chat. Thankfully, this means you won't get spoiled. Because you can't see it.
This is true. All right, here we go, everybody. I'm assuming.
Woo!
I'm assuming WESD to move.
I didn't do it that way, but yeah, probably.
Oh.
I used my arrow keys. I'm not a gamer.
Okay. I do have to ask, because they're jump scares.
Are there jump scares?
Or am I gonna actually have gameplay to play, or am I just kind of looking around?
You are gonna actually have gameplay. There are little jump scares, but like not like super heavy ones. Well,
Cool. We may be seeing me die several thousand times. Huzzah.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go.
Conceal.
Yes. Conceal. Don't feel. We're off to a great start. Elsa showed up.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a little tough at first.
Ugh, I don't like this.
I feel you.
Oh, this place, it is literally called the drawing board.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay, this is...
We're back to the drawing board.
Ah, okay, I got it. Ugh. Sorry, I'm not...
You're doing your best. It's fine.
34. I don't... Hello, random wheelchair.
Yes, random wheelchair. Shion Brown writes, Bendy retired and became a farmer. That is quite the career shift.
Okay. Oh, and free spinning wheel. Huzzah.
Spinning wheel. Oh, loading screen.
Okay, there we go.
At least I hope.
Oh, jeez. I don't like this.
What don't you like about it, Beth?
Well, I don't like the fact that I can't see anything.
This game is incredibly dark. Oh my god.
And
It is so dark.
it's giving me bad vibes and I don't like it.
Beth, it's a horror game.
Okay,
I'm with you. You should be able to see the horrors. However,
yeah, and there's no way to set this, and it's making me very obnoxious or very frustrated. I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna be real. This is
wonky.
yes.
Yeah, all I see for the stream is that you are stuck in a doorway. Oh, and now the game is.
Okay, I'm sorry. My mouse sensitive. Yeah, I'm
It's okay.
apologize to everybody. This is
You are not the pro gamer. It is okay.
it's not the pro gamer, and I'm getting and I'm having like mini half migraine. I have
Oh.
it's just yeah.
Oh,
Hello?
it's okay.
Yeah.
Hi. You still with me?
Yes. Hi. And there's also the fun of is the computer gonna bork on me, and I'm not realizing it as I'm suffering.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if we need to switch things up so like I'm playing if it gets to be too much for you, let me know. We will make that happen. But like, oh my god. I feel that on a lot of levels.
Yeah. I think it might be better. We might have to do an old switcheroo, but you know,
Okay, how do we do this though? Do we move over to my chat? I don't even know if I can run this, but I'll try for you.
I we can figure that out in a few minutes. I I'd like a moment to air my initial
Decompress.
impressions.
Okay, air your thoughts, Beth. I am here.
Yes. Um, I do not like that there is no UI.
Yeah,
I do not like the fact that I do not have the ability to adjust my settings and shrink the
yeah,
screen.
same.
I have do not appreciate having to assume that the WASD is what I'm supposed to use. I think
Yeah.
I just I'm I did not
like,
particularly care for the thunderstorms. I don't like the idea of walking into a room and seeing a figure at the bottom and the end and having no idea whether I'm going to immediately die to a monster. See, if I'm going to die to a monster, I want it to be of my own volition, not because I had to move forward and not know how to do anything.
yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you. This was not made to be super accessible, and I'm gonna be real with you. That's gonna continue.
That's good. Okay. I think I'm gonna fix the warning because you know what? We're just gonna
Beth is going to embrace the salt.
yes. Spoilers. Spoilers for Secrets of the Machine. And we're also gonna add a tag that is gonna be Beth is gonna be really freaking salty
Oh man.
because I gotta be real. Like I don't usually do horror games anyways, so obviously this is just gonna be
Mm-hmm.
so I'm just gonna BRB to the live stream gets fixed. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay,
It's okay.
I was trying to figure out. Hold on. Should be going. Why is oh stream is healthy, stream is excellent. It says dropped
I
frame.
think it may just be that we're not doing the
Maybe. I did. Okay. Let's try this. There. Take a moment. Who? Ha. All right.
It's okay.
There we go. Beth is being extra salty about this entire situation because maybe I expected too much.
You know, I think that is the one thing I can say about this game. It is not what I expected it to be. And there's some ways in which that's good, and some ways in which it's not so.
Yeah. It's
But yeah, you let me know what you need. Make it happen.
okay. I don't know what's going on with the stream. It's not showing me a preview on my end.
Well, it still appears to be live and running on mine.
Okay, so just have to listen to the chat until say, hey, up, take one step forward and two steps back. There we go. Okay. You know what? Edit this.
Okay, now I'm here. Once
All right.
the delay is going to make this interesting. We're gonna do great. It's
Yes,
gonna be
it's
great.
gonna be fine. It's,
Thank you
okay,
for
there we go.
indulging us. Thank you for dealing with the technical difficulties, folks. We are getting there.
Yes, and I just, yeah, I'm not. There we go. I just, yeah, I don't think there is a way for me to play the game and be able to stream it and not feel like I'm gonna throw it because it's kind of nauseous inducing with the mouse sensitivity and no way
All
to
right.
just the
So how
lack
do you
of
want to handle?
options to adjust and volume.
Yeah, I'm with. It was.
Like I just I appreciate it, Nuva. Thank you. I'm
Hmm.
like not even the option for subtitles. Not even the option to have
I do wish there was an option for subtitles. There aren't a lot of things that need it, but it would have been nice.
it's it's fixed. Don't give up. I might you know what? We will talk about the game and then we'll go into it and I'll try it again. But I don't.
You're not vibing with this.
I'm not vibing with this, and it like I didn't have high expectations. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
Like I expected going into this, okay, playable teaser, not that it the equivalent of here is our attempt at an ARG in order to make it seem like we have lore and covering our asses after basically negating the books.
I mean, I think I don't really know what I expected going into this. Like, all over the place before this, and after the fact, it's like, huh. The one thing that I feel Secret of the Machine needs to do better, if we ever do anything like this ever again, we need to manage expectations.
Can't
Because
can't
there
you
was
like
like
live
no
stream?
management of expectations or what this was supposed to be.
Okay. To answer your question, I can, like, yeah, I could probably play the game offhand and then find out or whatever, or watch a live stream. But I really do not want to subject you guys to my not great gameplay. I mean, I can go back in and try, and we can see how well it'll work. But I cannot see chat. I
I mean,
cannot see anybody, and volume is BS.
well, how about this? I don't know how well this will work, but would you like me to try? I know it may buffer a little bit. Would you like me to try and play it and then share it to you over Discord? Like, would that be okay, or would that be too much?
We can try it. We can see if that works. Um,
Okay.
yeah, you guys.
Let It's a bit of an unorthodox way to do this, but I think it'll chug less than if I'm the one streaming it.
Yeah, and we we will figure this out. I guess I also probably assumed that this was gonna be like at most gameplay wise, this was gonna be like PT where I just walk and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out. All right,
Let me
actually,
load things up. See if we can get this to. Here's the thing. I have not had to do this. The following is not meant to be seen, Jen. Forgot that was at the very bottom of the screen. Beth,
I,
can you speak for me real quick? I just need to hear where your volume is compared to this game.
ba-da-da-da-da-da-dun-dun.
Okay, not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Good,
Okay,
good.
cool. Let me.
All right. Me. I'll do this.
Oh, wait a minute. I can do this specifically. Maybe.
Window.
So,
Excellent.
how tech. Yeah, it was weird. Like part of it is like I'm kind of feel I'm looking at it and I'm like, what is the doing? Why is this such?
Okay. I need you to let me know what you can see.
Okay. Okay, I can see you. Let me pop it out and let me get window capture on.
Okay.
And
I'll
then
stand here in the rain. It's fine. So I cannot see you at this point, chat. Beth is my eyes and ears. We're gonna
yes,
do our best to make this work.
yes,
And we're also gonna see the cat is also not a pro gamer. But it's gonna be great.
yes.
Woo!
It's gonna be great. I just gotta window capture. There we go. Maybe I can find it. Discord. Okay, let me put this in the right spot. There we go.
Alright.
Let me get
Can
the.
the good people of the YouTube see?
Nope. Hold on. Okay, we got it. It's working.
Hooray! Excellent. Okay. So is it time for me to move around?
All right, give me one sec. Let me make sure this. Da da da. Oh, yours said illusion. Mine said cut.
Yes. So that is one of our first things. This changes every time. It's random what this thing will say.
Fantastic. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. But also, before we go anywhere, I'm going to do the thing that one does when they're looking for secrets and look directly behind you. Because I actually haven't done this yet. So, hi, we have a chair!
Oh,
I don't think that was there before.
I cannot see
But
a
also,
chair.
we have an arrow. Now, I could go that way, but I think I know what happens that way. So, I'm not going to do that right now. For now, let's head over to the drawing board, see what happens. Wow, this is running a lot smoother than yesterday. I'm a little surprised. Ah! I forgot that happened.
Jeez.
Goddamn lightning. Oh yeah, this looks a lot better today. What? What happened? So we have 34. No idea if that has any meaning whatsoever. Hey, dude. Sup, dude.
Our dude.
Well, he is very not here. Alright. We're gonna walk around gently in here. We got some lovely cockroaches. Say hi to Chica for me, guys.
Cockroaches.
Light up there. We got this little thing. This was moving and like wiggling yesterday. I don't think it was supposed to, though, because it stopped doing that after several updates.
Huh. Shack's
Also, I don't know
number.
if you can hear that. We can squish the cockroaches.
You.
I don't know if that does anything, but it's kind of gross. Then we have some more. Very gross. And oh, hi. Sit here for a minute and let you take that in. How we feeling about that, Beth?
It's that's
That sure looks like something we want to walk into.
huh. I mean, it
Well,
probably would be more intimidating if I could actually discern it because it's the lighting in the game is very dark.
it's very dark. So, we got something sort of akin to the ink portal Henry walks into. Let's walk through it.
Why not?
I think we move faster than we used to. Whoa.
Uh,
Ah! Why did it have to be that thing?
what is that thing? Oh, it's a.
Fuck. That wasn't there before if it wasn't obvious from my reaction. I hate it. No. Go away. Why are there bugs on this thing now? No, 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 no,
Escape
no.
your cage.
No, no, no.
Huh.
Beth, I hate it here.
What is it?
That doesn't look familiar to you?
Oh, is it the.
It's the old mascot costume.
Oh. It. Okay.
Meatley, you did this.
Okay.
Okay. So let me give you some context. Yesterday, there was a different secret that was on this pedestal every time the game updated.
Okay.
I was here for one of those secrets, and that was... I'm not going to tell you what it was. That thing is in front of a door that we need to get into later if we want to look at things. I'm terrified of what that thing is. I don't want to do it. No.
Okay.
So my question is, do you want to hunt for secrets, which involves going that way? Or do you want to go for the story first?
Okay. Well,
I'm so sorry.
it's cool. So this is gonna be very strange sounding, but with the way that like my laptop is looking and how the lighting of how the lighting of the game looks, I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, there's light revolving around his ears, or horn things. Okay, like I think a lot of the fear is coming from a place, for me at least, of a, am I actually seeing this? Is this intentional or is this not intentional? But let's
Oh, it looks like it's a costume. Okay, yeah, I
oh,
mean, I knew it was a mascot costume, but is that just floating there, or is that on a clothing? I don't want to know.
so why don't we focus on story first?
I'm afraid of looking away from it, to be honest with you, Beth.
Well,
I actually haven't done the story part on my own,
okay.
but here's how we do it. And you would not know this, so we hit the E key to interact. Did you hear that laugh?
That's certainly that's certainly a laugh. That's certainly
Well, they moved. And then we click.
so
I'm trembling. And
okay.
also, notice it is beans. And soup. Oh. Oh, you don't even have to walk up to the door now. They've changed it. That's
Okay.
interesting. You ready?
Sure. I got to admit, this would have been really nice for like maybe a little tutorial or an audio log or a lot of what? Oh,
So we have a family.
a
Hi.
few. I'm gonna lay money that's related to Alan and Tess or Alan, his wife and kid. I mean, it could be Joey, but I don't think it's Joey.
Well, take pen, find out. Age 6.
Huh.
Very cute drawing, right? Yeah. And one more. That.
Oh my gosh, I'm shocked.
I've been through this a lot, and it still bugs me.
Yeah.
And now, hey, it's Campus Crush. No, it is.
Go Tigers.
Chilton.
Been ever since the accident. Riley's an amazing artist for her age, but her morbid drawings of monsters are scaring the other students. Will you speak to her?
Hi, Super Aiden. Is this Audrey's room from the Dark Revival, or does Xeon misremember? I do not know.
Alright, I forget what to do here to make the next thing. I think we have to knock. Part. What do I have to do? There it is. Okay, hi. I'm gonna stay here so you can hear this.
Okay. So Ring Around the Rosie, classic horror trope.
Do you want to hear the rest of it, or shall I continue?
Yeah, go for it. It's just Ring Around the Rosie.
We're in the room again. Bottles. A lot. Bottles.
Okay.
We don't interact with at all.
17.
Now age 17. Leave it. Pick up the paper. Place it on. And let's draw a picture.
What's
Now,
the
who does that look like to you?
It's the car from Nightmare Run.
It is. Here we go. Now, funny thing, I was actually on stream with Inky Bendy News, Alvin Monk 5000, Brandon, yesterday, and Dave popped in and happened to read this for us.
Oh.
So here's my poor imitation of Dave doing this. Dear Riley, greetings. We've received your art samples, and we're very impressed with your abilities. We are excited to welcome you to the team here at Joey Drew Studios. We look forward to greeting you February 1st of this year. Sincerely, Joey Drew.
Okay.
Oh, now it tells us you can close it with E. Ah. Sound design in this game really gets. Take the pic. Head on in. To the studio. Our favorite place.
Uh-huh.
That's... Right. Oh, now it's like interact.
Ooh, okay.
We're gonna draw on every piece of paper. Like, I know what happens. I shouldn't be scared of it.
It's the
But it's so different when you're in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I think that is very frustrating.
Part of what was wigging you out?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice that music before. You recognize that? Hi.
Mr. Drew? Possibly? I'm
Hello.
assuming.
Attention Riley Wells, Art Department. Notice of termination. Effective today, you are dismissed from any employment at Joey Drew Studios. This is due to complaints received about the grim and disturbing subjects of your work. May your dreams come true somewhere else. Joey Drew Studios manager.
Okay.
So. But look at the door now. What's different?
It's Gent. Okay,
Our favorite.
As you say
Now,
this.
I didn't notice this the first several times that I saw people play this, but this is a floating desk. Why is it floating, Beth? Here we go.
Because yes. Remember.
Okay.
That's our gameplay loop. Is we go through go through it. And...
Every time we die, or not die, but we get to the end of something, we can go back.
Cool.
But it's not over yet.
Okay. Yeah, Xeon.
Now notice.
It's ink
our
magic.
way in is gone.
Of course, we're going. We gotta go forward, but it can't go back.
I'm sorry.
Hey, it's okay. And if it gets too overwhelming, or if that little secret mascot buddy's standing there, we can just call it quits and we can
Beth,
discuss.
can you see what's on screen right now?
I see a hole. Oh, hold on. Oh, it's the car.
No.
Oh, so it'll kill you. Or run you over. Huh.
This is the part where we die. God. If I'm quaking in my boots over this... I'm sorry.
Hey,
I'm so sorry I'm not good at this.
Hey, it's okay.
So how do you feel after that?
I mean, I have thoughts about it, and it's... So I see that we're playing, I did see the name Riley floating around, and so I do understand now why that name is now important. And I see, oh no, here we go, the part.
Yeah.
Oh.
Alright. I'm gonna hold up on approaching that thing a little bit longer, because it freaks me the fuck out.
Fair enough.
That's where stuff is that you're gonna be interested in, so we're gonna go there.
Okay.
But that's all the story that we have.
So that's basically backstory on Riley.
Yep. We have no idea why she's important. Come
on. Okay.
You aim by clicking with the mouse, by the way. Like you have to left click for shooting things. And most of the gameplay is
And cool. The park. Oh, they. Okay.
And also I can forget that and drop things, because here's the thing that was in the middle of the room was interacted with by throwing soup at it. I'm afraid to throw soup at that thing. It's gonna come to life and kill me. And newsflash, I don't want that, Joey.
It's understandable. It is very understandable.
I can't aim for... There we go. And one more, and that should open.
Okay.
There we go. Hi.
Enjoy the show, my friend.
Okay, I love that little guy.
Yeah, so we actually do get his name later, but would you like his name now?
Absolutely.
This is Ragtime Guffy.
I love him.
I love him too. We only knew him as like he gets a poster that shows up that shows what he is from. But it's not like, I don't know how you unlock it. Also, if we hit him 10 times with a can of bacon soup, he will explode and the game will crash.
Okay.
We will not be doing that. I like him.
He's a nice guy.
So. Oh, we have to see this for you.
Fresh hot popcorn by Chef Buck.
Your favorite.
Yep.
Actually, this is a great opportunity to do this.
Nice.
Hi. There it is, Beth.
Lone Wolf? I wonder if that'll be important later.
Yep. And then he disappears. No, Guffy, come back! I need you!
Guffy, you're the best part of this game.
You're my emotional support. So, take a step back for you. We can see that this wall says Pier 6. Where are there piers in the Bendy universe?
Yeah, that's true.
It's weird. Nobody's talking about this, but I'm thinking about it religiously.
No, Secret City wasn't near any piers, I don't think. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
We shall look at it. You will be remembered, Pier 6.
Pier 6. I mean, 6 is the devil's number, so that doesn't surprise me, but, like, you know.
Yep.
But also, I want you to take a look at this and notice a very interesting detail about it. Hi. Interesting they included this poster.
Little Devil Darling with our glove.
Yeah!
Huh.
We'll come back to this. I don't know if I can actually execute the way to get this secret on screen, because fun fact, in the build that I played yesterday, it was bugged.
Oh
and
boy.
Difficult. So, real quick, I need to step away for a moment. I will be right back.
Okay, doke.
So I'm going to keep you on the pause screen, and you guys can look at all the secrets.
So many secrets.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay, doke. Sounds good. Oh, so many secrets. They're fantastic secrets. It is. So I'll probably go into detail when we have our little wrap up party, so on and so forth. But I have thoughts. I like Guffy, and that's like the one positive I have at the right now. Yeah, it would be great if there were secrets on the pause menu, but unless the only secrets are the word secrets. Um, the but there are a lot of cons that I am having right with this. There, yeah, I I do not like there's not any options and accessibility and stuff. I'm not having a grandiose time with the way the lighting is going on. And it's yeah, it's do I like the fact that we have a new character? Yes. The character does seem to be going through very broadcasted tropes that I can call from a mile away, but cool. Um and I can kind of imagine where the guy where the individual's arc is going. There's the letter A. Ah, yeah, I'm sure there's like if it's not just like saying secret or if it's not just secrets of the machine written, yeah, you can come in with huge expectations, but there's a lot I want to say about its execution. Yes, the execution for this is very, very poor. Like, like it almost feels like they're like, crap, we need to have something for 414. We're not finished with the cage yet. Throw it together. We'll run with it.
Hi.
Hi, welcome back.
I'm shaking in my goddamn boots.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh no.
I'm fine, but I'm not fine. Okay. I'm so sorry, guys. I was not built to be a horror streamer. I thought. Oh, God. Also, I just got a message from Victor, friend and fellow Bendy fan. Apparently, there's been another update in the last couple minutes.
Oh, joy.
Ah!
Fuck! What in the absolute damn fuck?
Who the hell put the... Oh, they are on my bad side now.
Okay. Alright, I wanna... Okay.
Now I'm mad.
I was thinking, like, we're gonna get a little Beth brain, what the brain is going on for Beth. But, oh, he's sitting in the chair!
Hi, Guffy.
You are too good for this show, Guffy. You are too...
Oh, we're getting lag. Oh, God.
Alright. I think if the lag's too bad, we can just call it quits and then you can talk about the spoilers and stuff.
Here's the thing, we're not done.
We're not done.
Oh, please load. I know that I stepped away, but... Just,
Yeah.
who puts the fucking ink demon on the pause menu? That's so not cool.
Yeah, report Goop Monster for hacks.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the secrets we could have found. There are 2 ways to summon the ink demon to kill you. Beth, do I dare go near this thing and see what it does?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I
I don't want to contribute, but I do need to take a screenshot real quick because I need someone to know about this. Giant Arc is going to want to know.
Yeah.
Let me see how that affects my screen.
Yeah, go for it. With that, I'm kind of at the point where it's like we can talk and quit. So give me a minute and we'll get this reset.
I'm so sorry. I've been such a big baby.
It's all good.
I mean, I'm glad we know about the 8 demon now. But,
Yeah,
like, wow, that sucked. Ah.
yeah. Um, so give me 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and give start spoiler warning for the secrets of the machine. Um, apologies for not full on gameplay, but there are other YouTubers who do that, who can do this entire thing. This one, this is now just gonna be us talking about it and giving our thoughts.
Hang on, I accidentally reopened it.
Okay.
I am gonna real quick go to Steam though and update my version if it has actually gotten an update. It doesn't appear.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say in regards before we got lag and stuff is when I first thought I was thinking about it, I'm like, okay, it seems like the devs heard about Shipwreck 64 and because it's a popular game and hearing about like, oh, it's an ARG inside a video game, it's fun, blah 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 blah. Well, one of the things that can happen in the game is you can get jump scared in the pause menu and you can get a game.
No.
Well, here's the thing. It before you get to that point in the game where that can happen, you you find a computer in one of the layers and it explicitly tells you, hey, you are in the layer 2. You have passed the threshold of this is a fun quirky game. You are now getting into the horror stuff. There is you will but there are dangers here. Not even the pause button can save you.
And
It
like when
it
you make
gives
that
you a
explicitly clear, that's one thing.
but I'm sitting and then Bendy jump scare. That's
Yeah.
that's bullshit. And this is I'm gonna be extra salty. I'm sorry, guys. You're gonna hear me rant and rave and swear and all that. I This is bullshit. This was not a game. This was not play tested. This was essentially this they needed something for 414, but they weren't finished with the cage and they needed something for Bendy 3 just in case, you know, the cage wasn't received well. And
Well,
so they
actually, that's the part of the game we haven't gotten. This game is more an advertisement than a game.
what a fantastic job it's doing in advertising the game.
Well, we haven't gotten to the advertisement part. There were 3 secrets that were announcements, and one that looked to be vague. Well, yeah, one that looked to be gent related. And I can open it back up and go back in. I'm okay with that. But the thing is, we have 2 Bendy titles that were announced in this thing.
All right. Well,
And one of them I think you will appreciate.
you can talk about it. I'm kind of at the point with this game where it's like, my concern was I'd come out of this experience no longer a Bendy fan and ready to metaphorically shelf the demon. But let me hear it. What are the secrets that are so secret?
Well, we bookmarks. Sorry. So here are the secrets that are so secret. I'm going to give you a tweet
Okay.
so you can see it with your own eyes. So inside of that room that we didn't go in, there are 4 buttons with Bendy, Boris, Alice, and Shipahor on them. And they change between their monster forms and their regular toon forms. If you
Okay.
input 3 different combinations, you get 3 different shots on the TV screen. And they are as follows.
Okay. Saving the image so I can put it on screen for everybody. All right. Do 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 do. All right. All right, and I'm gonna put the text behind us. All right, let's see what we got. Bendy 3. Okay, that one I was kind of expecting because it's
The devs haven't been discreet about that. They've been like, yeah, the cage is not Bendy 3, because it's not.
yes. This is evil. Bendy in the Silent City. And then I guess there's like a parental warning or whatever at the bottom corner or whatever of that one.
Yeah, you're correct on that. Actually, let me get you my screenshot because I played this yesterday and got this.
Okay.
Because I just
And third one is a thing
the
intended
third
for
one is a monster from the cage. We think.
Okay.
I should have
So
just given you my screenshots. Wait a minute, I have those.
okay.
Little closer. It's really hard to see.
Yeah. All right. Let me save these so I can get them in the thing. All right. Bendy can cuss now. Oh boy. And it's not going to be a car horn. 0 out of 10.
I want the car horn cuss. That'd be fun.
All right. So here's the cage screenshot. Oh, hold on. Okay. Whatever. No. No, I just made a stupid image. Alrighty. It looks like I can't really tell what it is.
Some people are saying it's a keeper that's been restrained. Some people are saying it's other things. We genuinely don't know what it is.
It looks like a coffee pot and a tea kettle.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It is a monster that is chained up in some way.
Mm,
And
it
that's the tea on that.
it gives me Doi vibes. Not gonna lie.
You have to put it like that.
I think it gives me Doi vibes. Maybe not quite Doi, but it is giving me Doi vibes.
Yeah. Let's see what else in my. So, remember how I talked about there were different secrets that were on the middle of the pedestal there?
Yes.
Well, the one that I got to experience yesterday, when I was playing with a bunch of friends, was the Bendy trash can, which, when you chuck enough bacon soup into its mouth, spits out popcorn.
Oh, that's cute. All right, that actually
Yeah.
itself saved into our little carousel of bendy backgrounds. That's cute and adorable.
Oh, yeah, it's really cute. So I really like it too because the popcorn is 2D. Like it's drawings of popcorn. Like that's cool as shit.
Yeah.
Sorry. Ooh. Yeah, I really like the Silent City stuff. It's so cool. I'm so excited Silent City is. That was the best part of the announcement from yesterday.
Yeah, I'm that I'm glad that we're finding out about the Silent City. The gun is named Alice.
It's named Alice 2.
Alice 2.
What happened to Alice 1?
Yes, it does seem like it's parodying Sin City. I got to admit, seeing the This Is Evil and this is for mature audiences is not giving me a lot of hope.
Yeah, I do hope it's handled with care.
It is giving me the vibes of we're going to throw everything that's considered mature into it so we can be mature, and we're actually just going to end up kind of like how people complain about Has Been Hotel.
I hope not.
Yeah, that'd be no bueno.
Mm,
But yeah, so woo, Silent City. Glad
yeah,
that's not dead. Um, yeah, Mouse the game, but Bendy.
honestly, so funny thing, Unique Geese was streaming this the other day, and I'm not like an avid Unique Geese follower, but like I popped in because I thought that'd be cool, and he actually showed the trailer for Mouse, the most recent one with the spinach, and I'm like, wow, Mouse looks really good, and I'm like, man, maybe I'll have to play Mouse. I say as if it's not already on my wish list.
Yeah, yeah, it's yeah, Mouse seems like it'll be fun, and I
Yeah,
am
it could be a
cautiously
great time.
optimistic for it.
Oh my god,
Um,
it's already in there.
I gotta admit, the Bendy 3 logo is really stupid because, I mean, I
Oh,
understand
that's
why, because, gotta have the E be the 3 because that's cool. And, but outside of that, that is very silly.
You know, it's funny. I don't know how true this is, but while I was scrolling around Twitter the other day, I saw a tweet where somebody went, I guess they changed their mind, and it was like there was instead something for Bendy 4. And I don't know if that was actually in the game and just really quickly patched out or not, but what?
That is the reason it
Why?
got bricked.
I guess. I guess. But the bricking thing is really interesting. I don't have an image of it, but I do have Spence's tweet of the texture if I can find that real quick. So, do you want to know what happened yesterday around like 8 o'clock our time?
Yeah, go for it.
Because this made me upset. So what happened was the last time the game updated last night. If you went in, the the drawing board house was blocked off. The entrance was just boarded up, like literally boarded up, like the Ink Demon in chapter 1 of the first game. And it said condemn. And you couldn't get in. Nothing. The game was unplayable because it was purposely blocked off. So this morning, when things updated again and you could go back in, everybody was surprised. We thought it was done. We thought it was over. It was not over.
Yeah.
I was really scared that we wouldn't be able to stream today at all. And I was like really concerned. Like, no, you can't just make your game unplayable without telling people. What?
Yeah,
Who
especially
does that?
especially day one.
Yeah, like the day wasn't even over yet. You released this at 4:14 in the morning.
Yeah, that's
I mean, there are some people who didn't even know that the screen back there said escape your cage because the banner actually changed with the last version before that bricked update
oh boy.
to happy 414.
That,
So that was a time.
yeah, for sure.
Um, so yeah, it was kind of sad when we had no more secrets on that pedestal. But the other two secrets that were on it that you could interact with was there was a chair that spun if you threw soup at it. And there was a machine that apparently hurt you. I didn't ever touch it. I never got to play that build to know what it did, and I haven't seen anybody play that build, but a lot of people were struggling to figure out what this thing did. So that I may look into in the future. But yeah. But we haven't gotten to the best secret, Beth.
Ooh.
And this is the one that requires the flashing warning.
Ah.
Would you like the flashing warning? Would you like this thing? It's a video.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I might not. I can try and get it show on stream,
Yeah,
but we'll figure
we
it.
may not be able to. But this is tweeted from Sky Guy because they rooted around in the files and found this thing. Um,
Okay. Let me see Twitter. Let me add a browser. And I'm seeing it. And I'm I've got words.
I'm terrified.
All right, give me a second. I'm pulling it up. Oh, there is music to it. So give me
There
a
is
second.
music. It's actually a banger.
Okay, here we go. We're on. I'm gonna. It's gonna be relatively close. Why? Oh, come on, come on, load, load. Come on, come on. There we go. Come on. All right, there we go. It's the tweet from Sky. Oh, is it not gonna?
It's okay. Oh my god.
Yeah. Um,
Yup.
that's funny. That's cute. Um,
And it's the hardest secret to get.
I appreciate that. Um, I think they probably could have paced the flashing lights a little bit better, but
Yeah, no, it's I have a hard time looking at it. It's oh god.
yeah.
Yeah, no. So I want to tell you the way that you get that because it's kind of ridiculous. So what you have to do is eat 25 cans of specifically bacon soup. Because you notice there was bacon soup and beans. You had to eat specifically bacon soup, 25 cans. Then you hear a burp. It's a very subtle sound effect, but it's a burp. You go get a can, run to the wall where that glove poster was, yeet the can at it, and look through the hole in the wall to see this.
So Riley's having themselves a having themselves a bit of a food poisoning hallucination. Congratulations.
Oh, oh my god. Here's the thing: we don't really know if we're playing as Riley or not. But also, like, were we just playing through Riley's story or not? I don't know. Also, I think they refer to Riley as a she, so I think we can say Riley is a she.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So it's really funny. The number of people that went into that room with, that portrait of the family and went, "Oh, this is Audrey and no, actually nobody went, this is Audrey." I went, "Oh, it's Audrey and Joey and Allison. This makes sense." And then it wasn't. Some people
No,
are like, "Oh, it's Henry and Linda and their kid." Or, "Oh, it's actually nobody went, it's Tom and Allison and their kid."
no.
But I would have believed that.
Oh,
Some people were like, "Oh, it's Nathan and Tessa and Wilson. Wilson, you're trans?
surprise.
Congratulations, Wilson."
Yeah, my
What?
thought was like, oh, it's like my thought was, oh, it's Alan.
Oh, it's Alan.
It's Al. Let's be real. Until proven otherwise, all people in charge of unethical science places are doing this to bring back their dead loved ones.
Except they weren't.
Yes, whether or not, yeah, until proven otherwise. It's like innocent until proven guilty. They're trying to bring back dead loved ones until proven otherwise.
Yeah. But oh man. There was a lot that I was really excited to discover in this thing. There's a lot of things we did that didn't yield anything yesterday. Oh no. You found a harder one? You found a harder secret to reveal
Oh boy.
than the rave. Beth, can we ask? I kind of want to know what they're talking about.
Yeah, go for it. I'm curious.
Please. Kaloyan Pekov. I'm so sorry, I'm probably butchering your name. I would love to know what you're talking about. Oh yeah, I mean there were a couple other things like if you got all those teaser announcements to go the right way and you could get a little light to shine behind that display, you could throw a can at it and then get the lights to flash and Norman's scream would go out.
Oof.
That was cool.
Hello,
You
DJ
could
McNerdette.
yeah, hello. There was what's the word for it? So that big screen where Guffey told us to enjoy the show, if you threw a can at that, you get a gent Dadaist film. That was bizarre. I didn't get any meaning out of it, but it said submit, reject, gent. So it seems like brainwashing. Oh, and there was
Like,
an eyeball twitching about. Oh, it was.
you know,
Um,
gotta hit this
let's see.
evil corporation bingo.
Yeah, there was a hidden in there was the Bendy 64 cartridge. It didn't do anything, but it was there in the wall. Um, in that area I was afraid to go to.
Okay.
Let's see. There were oh, do you remember in Bendy and Nightmare Run how there was that hand that you could tap that could open or close, but it didn't do anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were 3 of those that you could open and close just scattered throughout the facility, and opening and closing them did nothing. Again, no idea why there were 3 of them. But
Huh.
nobody could figure out what those did. If anybody knows what those does, I would actually love to know. Um, let's see what else. Oh, there was the mystery box from Boris and the Dark Survival.
Yeah.
If you clicked that 414 times, I'm not kidding. It would spin, it would rise into the air, spin, explode, or have some sparkles emanate from it, and then make a fart noise and fall down.
Ah.
So it didn't reveal anything, but that was a thing. There were targets you could hit with the soup, but those didn't do anything.
You know, kind of feeling a little bit like my theory about how this came to fruition is is becoming solider and solider.
Yeah. I had a really fun time hunting around with everybody to see what, press things and what do they do. It was fun. And it was really enjoyable in the moment and getting to join everybody with this whole sense of community the other day. It was a great time. And I had so much fun and I was so looking forward to that with you today, but I'm sitting here um I'm sitting here right now going, I wish I could have that magic with you right now, but it's just not there.
Yeah. It's
It's just I feel like this game was not a game. I feel like it was a convoluted advertisement that people poked around in until they could figure out what it did. And I want to like it. I want to care about Riley, but I have no reason to care about Riley yet, other than she has a tragic backstory. Okay, why is she relevant? And it
yeah.
seems like she ends up working for Gent or an experiment of Gent. Maybe she's like Archie. We don't know.
Yeah. I gotta it I don't know, it's just like, yeah, okay. Worked for Joey, got fired from Joey, which, rather impressive. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Um, but that's it. Alright, good. See you later, Nuva.
We love you, hon. Also, hi, Seth. I see you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I just, oh, there's another thing. Um,
it's
lost.
fun.
Oh, yeah. So, Riley being 17 when she's hired by JDS, what does that remind you of, Beth?
Oh, it's like, oh, hey, here's our teenager that gets murdered by Joey.
Again. Yeah, so why does Riley sound like a book protagonist? Like, I don't have anything against that, but it's just I don't want to bring up the books aren't canon thing, but it's kind of hard to skirt around here. Okay, so the books weren't worthy of being canon, but this is?
Yee.
Really?
You know, I'm gonna sound very salty when I say this.
Beth, we've established you're salty. It's okay.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna say it. Mike probably saw the popularity of the books and took the wrong information from it. And was like, oh, people like the book because it was a 17-year-old. Or, oh, it's a young kid. That's why it got super popular. It wasn't the fact that, Adrian Kress managed to make a good story or a compelling story and flesh out the world that some people cough cough didn't do and left for everybody else to do.
I mean, hey, I don't live in their heads to know how they think or how this came to be, but like, I'm just. The books have a very different flavor from the games, and I respect and accept that. But I do kind of wish that the games were taking some story beats and notes from the books, where it's like, hey, you gotta get me invested in the character in order to, get me to keep going. Like, my biggest complaint about Dark Revival is that they moved away from character-based storytelling in favor of doing world-based storytelling. And that's not a bad change in and of itself, but when the game introduces so many new characters and I can't tell you who most of them are from the audio logs, and like I can't tell you much about them other than a sentence for all of the new physical characters we meet, there's a problem.
Yeah,
The thing that carried Bendy and the Ink Machine was, you know, Sammy and Alice and Bertram, and it's like there wasn't a lot on these characters, but we got to see this progression of when they were human, they were like this, and now oh their vices are manipulated and corrupted, and now they're evil ink monsters, and it's great and it's fun and it's human. Bendy and the
yeah.
Dark Revival, by contrast, is missing that same humanity, and it kind of makes me sad because I like Dark Revival. I think it's a better game in terms of its gameplay, but in terms of its story, it's missing some. And I'm worried that with all these games that are coming out in the future, that we are going to get further and further away from what made this series so magical in the first place. Where it's like, hey, you got to have really solid characters because if you don't, people don't stay.
Okay. Funk saying we need. I feel like we need a reboot. The lore at this point has since it just become very messy.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I I can I can see the pros and cons to both, and I
Yeah,
feel like if the fellas were just consistent about it, we wouldn't be having this issue.
yeah,
But I think that's the problem because when Bendy and the Dark Revival first got announced, the implication I got was that there was that this was basically almost a pseudo reboot, a soft reboot, as it were, if I'm going to use my the film technicality terms.
that's possible. Yeah,
Yeah. So like technically a reboot, but it's not. But there's still assets stuff where it's like technically not. It's not wrong. It's just not right. And
yeah.
Telefunk's saying not scrap everything. I'm saying streamline it. Yeah.
That's that's interesting. Like, I think for me, the thing about Bendy that Bendy is starting to fall. Well, not starting to. It's been falling into a very similar trap to a lot of other indie mascot horror games. Beth, you sent me that video the other
Yes.
day. That was a really good breakdown of this.
Actually, let me go grab it
Where
and
it's
I'll share it in the chat.
yeah, no, the chat. You probably want to watch this if you enjoy indie horror. I think it's actually really well put. Um, I feel like I really love indie mascot horror and how, like, if you dig into all the nooks and crannies, you can find all this cool stuff. But one of the things that is really difficult about it is it has an air of you had to be there. Like, I think the people who played Bendy in the Ink Machine as it was coming out versus the people who played Bendy in the Ink Machine after the game was finished, um, are very different people. They have very different views of how this series goes, what's important about it. And it's just like I can tell you stupid things. Like you know, originally in chapter 1, Thomas Connor didn't exist. And he had an audio log in chapter 3 that was moved to chapter 1 after chapter 4 updated. That's convoluted, but that matters because a lot of people didn't like bring Thomas Connor into their calculus because he wasn't there from the beginning. And
Yeah,
then suddenly the game changes things and now he's important. And it's like, that's cool. I like Tom. I like Tom a lot. I wish we did more with him and that it
yeah,
was really good, but we don't. And it's just, the thing is, you can't have your media be be so disjointed, you know? It's like, if you didn't play Bendy and the Ink Machine, would you understand Bendy and the Dark Revival? And the answer is no. You wouldn't. There is so much context missing. I mean, is it still a good experience? I don't know. I played Bendy and the Ink Machine. I lived and breathed Bendy and the Ink Machine. But like, it's just really interesting the contrast of it all. Like,
yeah,
are the games better if you've read the books? Are the books better if you've played the games? Are all these things enjoyable on their own, or do they rely on the context of everything else? That's a difficult question.
yeah.
We don't have answers for it.
And that is the
But
frustrating part.
we just want all the pieces to click nicely. Like, I get it, keeps something secret because lore, but it's like, I should be able to walk away from your game with a baseline understanding of what I just saw. And if I want to, get into more of the subtext, I should be able to come back to it and find that. Like, I'm happy to go hunt for that. That's fine. But I should be able to understand your game throughout a first playthrough on its.
We should not have to recreate the Peppa Silva meme every time we try and explain this to friends and family.
Yeah. Like, honestly, I can't explain Bendy to most of my family. Like, my mother's like, "It's a cartoon?" "No, mom, it's a video game about cartoon characters." And it's just, we go through this whole thing every time, and it's like, man, it's tough.
Yeah,
It's just, I love Bendy. I love Bendy with all my heart. It's beautiful. It's great. And it's messy, but it's my mess. And I love that. And I still go back to Bendy and the Ink Machine and I smile about it and I hold it close to my heart. And it's just, whatever happens in the future isn't ever going to change that. It's never going to change my love for what was before. Unless they go and change Bendy and the Ink Machine, then I'm going to be really upset. Don't
yeah,
touch it.
that's a good way to put it. And
Well, it's just, I'm nervous about that. I'm really nervous about that.
oh
They
yeah,
they have they have the source code back from the ports to console. I I don't want anyone to touch it. Please don't change anything. Please leave it as it is. Please let it be the experience it was. I know it's not the same, but I don't care. Just don't touch.
hi J
Keep
Pause.
moving forward. Hi.
Yeah, I am with you. I am. I mean, I'm more kind of feeling like okay, or I don't even quite know how to explain it quite so much, but I'm feeling
Mhm.
very frustrated, especially how the with how this has ended up. Um, it's it's this built like there are certain expectations that I have for game developers, especially indie
Mhm.
developers, especially those that have been around the block. Like
Yeah.
we Bendy and the Ink Machine is over 7 years old plus some months. This game is the age of a first grader. You've the games, you know, obviously Mike and Meatley are not like two bros sitting in the basement coding games for funs and lulls. And the frustrating part is that they don't it comes across like they are still in that mindset of being two bros in the basement just doing this for the lulls, and it's just a fun perk that they get paid for it, when like, no, you guys are grown adults playing. This is a franchise that people have put time and money into, and they've lived through controversies. So it's not like they can be, oh, woohoo, hee hee, we're just two bros having bro time, because it almost
Hmm.
becomes disingenuous. And it's like, okay, why should I as the customer give you my money if you're going to be like this? And
It's yeah.
yeah, it's a business now, and you have to treat it as a business. It's like, sure, you don't have to be you can still have fun with the job, but you have Bendy has merchandise, which has people designing, people making, prototyping, manufacturing, advertises. They have book series, which an author, an editor, a marketing team with that, a publishing house rely on that. There are
People are
two,
counting on you.
and hell, with YouTubers. I'm sure there were a bunch of YouTubers when they realized that this game was coming out at 4:14 that they had to figure out how the hell they were going to either A, get the game downloaded and play it in a reasonable time to make videos, or, do what I have to, or do what I had to do and try and figure out, okay, how do I make sure this game doesn't download and brick itself before I can play.
Yeah. And not to mention, I mean, well, we haven't said this on stream, but I know we're both thinking it. The devs have not acknowledged this game whatsoever on any piece of social media. There's been nothing from Mike, nothing from the Meatly, nothing from the official Bendy Twitter. This game was not advertised in any capacity. And it's like the Steam page did not indicate what kind of an experience this was in the slightest. I don't trust the user defined tags because the users haven't played it.
Though to be
Nobody's
fair,
played it.
they were right about it being dark.
Yeah, they were right about it being dark. And that's about it. Just like I was expecting a small short game. What I got was an advertisement. And that's fine. I'm really excited about some of the projects coming up. But I don't understand why this was an advertisement that wasn't advertised. That doesn't make sense to me. Ugh. I have feelings about this. I thought I had processed all my feelings about this yesterday, but clearly I have not.
It Yeah, and this isn't even like an ARG situation, because like of historically speaking, ARGs are kind of meant for marketing practices and stuff and whatever.
Yeah.
But like, this wasn't a good ARG. This was eh.
Mm,
It's just, yeah, it's very,
tough.
yeah, it's Celefunk. I was there when the ancient magic was written.
Okay. The lion from Chronicles of Narnia. I don't remember his name. Aslan?
Yep.
Aslan? Aslan.
Yeah, a neat little experience that reminded Joy Pause of the Ink World of Fade to Black, but was definitely an advertisement. And yes, I'm with you, Xeon. This is definitely rushed. Like, you
Like,
know,
it's interesting, but why is it this way?
I mean, on the positive side, we can look at positive sides here. Um, Mike has not tweeted about how long this game has taken and said looks like and made a crack about get done good enough. So
I
but at the same
mean, there was
time,
one tweet yesterday, but I'm not pulling it up. It's not quite those words, though.
I take back what I said then.
I'll go get it.
I just
Yeah, also there's that mysterious Gent Corporation Twitter page that has done nothing. So we thought there was going to be an ARG, but it's no.
They probably saved it because they have somebody's probably realized, hey, so the last time we didn't have this saved, we somebody was able to take Mike's original like Bendy or Kindly Beast stuff and has been posting the receipts of everything that Mike has said. Um,
I I don't even want to think about that. You're on your own for that one.
yeah,
I mean, I'll gather resources for you because I have a Twitter account, but no.
yeah.
This is not the thing, by the way. This is a different thing. Um,
Oh, Mike just found out today they don't actually own Batim on Switch in Europe. Someone else does. We have zero access to it or its revenue for the last 5 years. Amazing. That'll be fun to deal with. And then from 414, exhausted from doing absolutely nothing all day. Best way to spend 414.
we got one more.
Oh boy, here we go.
We always got to change the URL to VX Twitter so it loads for you.
Oh, it's a retweet from the Meatly talking about peanut butter, Captain Crunch. He says, I swear every time Meatly posts about food, I end up eating what he's talking about. Last night I literally had popcorn for dinner, so we all know what we're having for breakfast. Rolling eye emoji.
This is what they decided to post 414. So we have this big thing that is updating continuously throughout the day that nobody knew was going to update continuously. I mean, I
Yeah,
know it said updates in the thing, but not like this. Management of expectations.
yeah. Like it,
Like every 2 or 3 hours, this thing updated. What?
it could. The problem is that the Mike and Meatly are just afraid of transparency, and it's getting to the point where it's like, okay, stop. You either get to have a game and you get to play and you get to interact with the fans, or you have to pull the Scott Cawthon and only interact when when you're about to get hit with a lawsuit because the fandom doesn't know how to behave themselves.
Oh, gee. I mean, actually, there is one tweet that I saw today from a fan. I forget who it was, but it's like, you gotta treat Secrets of the Machine like it's the Scott Games website. And I'm like, yeah, I guess that's a way to put it. That's not a bad way to put it, but I wasn't there for the Scott Games days.
So,
And I wasn't really into the idea of digging through his website source code.
so the thing is with the Scott Games website, with like the exception of maybe one, two, two times, and I'm using two times in the vague game sense. So I think for like FNAF World and when right before Sister Location came out, when MatPat had his FNAF stream with all the YouTubers and stuff, and he was updating it for them on like as they were streaming and talking about it. That's like the Scott Games stayed consistent for like week and a half. Enough time for anybody who was going to talk about the stuff to talk about it, enough for people to kind of look in and poke their head in and be like, oh, okay, this makes sense, blah, 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 blah. And then, just call it, be able to poke their head in, see it, be like, yes, this is a thing, this is what I think it means, and then have it had time to rest before the next big update. And it was also just a website where you
Hmm.
either brightened it up, you lowered the contrast, or you hit source inspect, and that was it. It
Yeah,
wasn't it wasn't a full-fledged game you had to try and fight the updates in order to use.
yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm totally. I would be into an hourly update thing if I knew that's what I was getting into. Because I would sit down and dedicate a day to something like that. But I didn't intend to do that yesterday. I intended to play the game and be done with it. and then go celebrate with my fellow fans doing other fellow fan things, and that is not how I spent my 414. I was hopping streams helping people out with finding those secrets all day.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was fun to a certain extent. I enjoyed the sense of community. It was good. Um but you got to warn people.
Yeah.
Just
I
manage
think
expectations.
I think a good chunk of my problems with it would have been solved had there been a thing of expectations. And not just like,
Yeah.
oh, I guess if I vague tweet, subtweet, or whatever, but like a legitimate, like, hey, this is the game, this is the expectation, haja.
Like, you don't have to spoil it for us. You don't have to tell us everything we're getting into, but like, there are some things that your players would benefit from knowing and make it so that, they really enjoy in the long term. Cuz like everybody who missed out on the game yesterday or planned on playing it today didn't even know if the game was going to work at the end of last night.
Yeah,
And a bunch of them probably canceled their plans. I mean, I you heard me panicking to you
yeah.
about are we even going to be able to run the game?
And as we saw in the beginning of the thing, it didn't really matter whether or not I didn't have the thing updated. It was going to update whether wanted it to or not.
Yeah, like that is something I'm actually concerned about in the future for Boris. So like as you saw as we were exploring this game, Boris Lone Wolf is happening. It looks like it is a rename of Boris in the Dark Survival to Boris Lone Wolf. Am I going to be forced to update that? Am I going to have an option to keep my old game and still be able to run it? Or am I going to be forced to adhere to whatever it is they change it to? Because you don't really go and change a game's name that drastically unless it's receiving a significant change.
Yeah,
Hi?
especially after several years.
Yeah, like, look, I was thinking back to Boris in the Dark Survival the other day because I don't. Did you ever get the chance to play it or no?
I have not gotten the chance to like fully play it. Like
Yeah,
I know some of the story beats that happen. I know that there's the box, but
yeah.
I've not experienced the box for myself.
Okay. So I'm gonna tell you a thing about Boris in the Dark Survival. Their game released at a really weird time. It was the start of the pandemic. Everybody was locked down. It was scary. Life was grim and dark. And somewhere down the line, we get the update that brings in Alice and the Butcher Gang as potential enemies you can encounter once you unlock all the pieces to set them free.
Yeah,
Next to the box where you can set the Butcher Gang free, once you did it, was a note that has since been removed from the game. But it was really important that it was there in that time. And it hits me right in the feels. It's one of the nicest things that I've seen from this team in a long time. I'll enjoy Splatoon stuff.
have a good time. I'm pulling up the note and getting it in stream. One sec.
I just I think back on this thing a lot and it feels like a very different time in the world of Bendy, you know? Like Boris in the Dark Survival wasn't a perfect game, but it had charm to it. And what I was expecting from Secrets of the Machine was actually, now that I really think about it, more like Boris in the Dark Survival. Something small, something short, something that may come with updates, something that was, nice.
Yeah, something nice, something sweet, hopeful, genuine feeling.
Yeah, like this note. Would you
Yeah.
like me to read it or would you like to read it?
Uh, we can alternate.
Okay. Do you want to take the beginning and end and I take the middle or no?
Sure. No matter how scary some things may get, all things can pass and hope always endures.
With this update for Boris in the Dark Survival, all of us at the studio wish the world strength, courage, health, and full hearts.
We can solve so much if we all work together.
The Bendy team. I do, in my heart of hearts, kind of wonder who was responsible for writing this. I'd like to say thank you.
Yeah.
Just that much. It was very scary. At that point in time, I wasn't playing the game for myself, but I was doing a lot of moderating for my friend, the Cartoon Kitty, as she was exploring it for the first time. Much like with what we did for Secrets of the Machine today, I went ahead, made sure that I knew what was going on in this game so I could help if needed, but also moderate the chat so nobody spoiled it for her. And that was just my place. That's where I've been with a lot of these games because I'm a little too scared to play them myself if that wasn't obvious from today.
Note to self, we find scary game playing friend. That is their role. They will play the scary game, and we will sit in the back like the little shoulder angel, shoulder devil.
Oh god. And then nobody can tell which is which.
Exactly.
No, it's like it's really fun, just to think back on it cuz like there was so much to do. I think I really love Ben. I have most of these games in my library even though I am a wimp because I do want to see the series continue to go forward. But at a certain point, I'm feeling a little I'm feeling a little low. Not hopeless, but sad. Disappointed? Confused? A number of other adjectives I could throw at this. I
Yeah.
just I think particularly like because of the things that happened with the books in this last year, I really loved Fade to Black. Fade to Black was great. It was by far the best Bendy book. I mean, it requires the context of everything else in the series to understand what's going on fully, but it's a really good book. I had a lot of fun with it. But then, all this stuff about whether or not the books are canon happens, and it's like the books are my way of participating in the fandom on my own. I don't need to watch a Let's Play for that because I'm too scared of the gameplay. I can still be a part of it. And to say that that isn't canon is to say that it doesn't matter. And to say that it doesn't matter makes me feel like my place in this whole thing doesn't.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's a very personal. It's like I love the books because I get to interpret that for myself and I get to experience that for myself. I mean, I was on an 8-hour car ride to my sister's wedding reading this book, and I was kicking my feet and giggling to myself and really grateful that nobody was asking questions or giving me weird looks. But it's like, I think back on that time and it's like I needed to scream. I needed to live. I needed to be excited. And it's just that's the thing that I get to be excited about because that's what vibes with my brain.
Yeah.
And it's okay if they don't want to do books the same way as before or they don't want to do books period anymore, but I think I will miss that. I mean, I know they haven't said that, but you know, when you say the books don't matter, if any new ones come out, who's going to read them other than me?
Yeah. I feel like I think my biggest issue with the whole book drama that happened with it is that this didn't have a natural, it wasn't a natural, like, oh, we're going to go move
Hmm.
away from the books. Because the books were marketed as part of the world of Bendy. And all of a sudden, one day, we get the announcement about the graphic novel. There's the uh, everybody wig out about like, oh my gosh, the graphic novel, my canon is dead, Mike has shot it, and then going, who could have done this? Whatever am I gonna do? And it almost feels, at least to me, this is how I have interpreted it and how it came across to me. May not have been their intent, may not, but intention is never impact. The intent that
Hmm.
it came across, or the impact it came across for me, is that Mike immediately panicked, freaked out, and was like, and Meatley at first was like, "Oh, they're fun extras. Don't worry about it too much. You can have your cake and eat it too. It's fine. Don't worry, we're gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. Joy, pause. I'm gonna get back to that comment in just a second because I hate that you're right, but you're right. Um, but it's like, hey, he's trying. The Meatly's trying to make everybody happy, and so he makes the broad statement of like, hey, it's fun extras, not required, but that's okay.
Yeah,
And
not required is not the same as, not. That's different. Different.
yeah, and then Mike kicks the door down a couple of weeks later because the graphic novel,
Well, a couple
pre-
months later.
yeah, a couple months later because the graphic novel preview comes out and decides to undermine what the Meatly said and is like, no, it's not canon. We, we're just going to be blunt about it now. Basically, screw you and the horse you rode in on. And it didn't. That's not natural. That's not a natural way for it to transition. It feels very much like Mike threw a temper tantrum because he saw people being like, I like the story of the Bendy books. It makes a lot more sense than the games, and got a little bee in his metaphorical bonnet and got jealous and decided to make it everybody else's problems. And the meat lead, like, he was either like, oh, okay, all right, that's fine. I barely pay attention. It's fine. Or the what not great option is that he doesn't have a backbone to tell Mike to go pound sand and to keep his mouth shut and basically became the puppet doormat.
I mean, we don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but
You don't.
I hope it's, I want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I want to believe that we're all trying our best. It's just, you know, I hope that I just don't want all of this to make me feel things that are not good.
Yeah, that would be no bueno. Like I want to
Well, it's just, yeah. Go ahead.
I want to be able to go to look at Bendy and be like, yeah, that's a cool fandom. Whether or not I'm a
That's my
big
little
part of it
guy.
or a little part, yeah, let it be a little guy. I don't want to have to look at it and be like, gosh dang it, Mike and Meatley, how am I supposed to explain this to people without them looking at me like it was back in the early 2000s and I said I was a YouTuber?
See, I don't want it to feel like, oh, I'm explaining Kingdom Hearts. Because have you ever tried to explain Kingdom Hearts? It's a disaster. I
Yes.
mean, I love it, but it's a disaster.
See, my problem is I stopped around Chain of Memories and
Oh,
then
that's early.
the one where Xeon's part of it. Like
Oh,
that's
Shion, no.
that's like the last bit of stuff that I know in relation to it. And so when it's basically that meme of walking into the room that's on fire, carrying boxes of pizza, and then just being like, oh,
Yeah. No, it's like that's a complicated thing, and the story is told out of order. So it's like,
yeah,
yeah, no, it's just wild.
yeah. Okay, now we're gonna go back to Joy Pazis, who's said a little bit a while ago, Buddy in the graphic novel looks like Shinjin from EVA.
I don't know what that is, but I'll take your word for it.
Give me a sec, I'll get the picture up.
No, Beth, do we have to look? It's probably an anime boy. There's nothing wrong with anime boys, don't get me wrong.
Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. All right, we're just gonna do a cop. Everybody can Google what this guy looks like, but he's from Evangelicon, the main character.
Oh, Evangelion?
Yeah,
You and I are just in a perpetual state of we don't agree on how to pronounce words,
Pretty
and
much.
I love that.
Oh, Joy Paws says it is not an insult that he looks like that, but I hate the fact that you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just okay, somebody got really upset with me for saying this, but the Bendy graphic novel to me reminds me a lot of the art style used in the FNAF graphic novels, and I don't know why. I don't think they're the same artist. It's just the way that the characters are shaped. And it's like, that's not an insult. I actually like the way the FNAF graphic novel looks. Like, I don't read it. I can't tell you if it's formatted well as a comic, but I watch a lot of not real name, not at all. And she's kind of got a vendetta against Baby in the graphic novel. So there are a lot of videos about that, and I've watched a couple just for the sake of I'm curious. Um yeah, no. I mean the books look great. It's just I don't expect the Bendy book to look like that. It also looks a little bit like the Hello Neighbor graphic novel, which is a thing. Um
It
why
doesn't.
does it look like that?
It shouldn't surprise me that there's a Hello Neighbor graphic novel, but I'm shocked there's a Hello Neighbor graphic novel.
I'm pretty sure there is. I mean, I don't remember the name of it, but I feel like I've seen that. It looks like 2D art that I have associated with Hello Neighbor. And it's just what? Also, hi Victor, good to see you.
Hi, Tommy Turtle.
I that is my god. I don't even yeah, no, it's just all these indie horror series getting graphic novels and stuff. I just why are we doing the graphic novel? I'd like to dial it back a bit. Why are we doing the graphic novel? Is it because you've always dreamed of doing a graphic novel and that would be fun? Or is it because everyone else is doing it? Or is it because you think the story of Bendy adapts itself really well in graphic novel format? I mean, it could be any of those answers. Why are we doing this? It has potential, but why?
At least on the positive side, they did it before Ban Ban.
Don't get me started. Okay. My two of my hot button topics. I've made amends with Freddie. Freddie and I are on good terms. Hello neighbor, I don't care. But you get me talking about Poppy Playtime or Garden of Ban Ban. You don't want me to talk about those things unless you're ready for a little ball of fire. I'm sorry, Beth. I can't get over how they're targeting the children.
Hey,
Stop
don't.
targeting the children.
It's all good.
Ugh. But no, it's like never give us a garden graphic novel. No, that will never happen. The game, there's no way to adapt that to a graphic novel cohesively, much less any other medium, but especially that one.
Yeah.
That said, they did have that one trailer joke. I'm not feeling very euphoric myself. Peak cinema.
Peak cinema.
They did one thing right. One thing. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Victor makes a really good point. Yeah, no, there is so much to think about in terms of graphic novels and comics in general throughout history. And it's like, I wish more of that had been applied to Bendy. Like, it feels like it could be any graphic novel, not just the Bendy graphic novel. It feels like it's Bendy because of the color scheme, and that's it. And it's like,
Yeah.
where is the art style from the games? Where is the art style from the 30s through 70s, 20s through 70s? I mean, we've got a lot of stuff to pull from. The 40s in particular, because it's DCTL. I am getting tongue tied.
Dreams come to life. And
Yeah. The
yeah,
dreams that came to life.
like Norman doesn't feel like a Norman. Norman feels like he's mentor character Bruce Wayne, which he.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, he goes the same route as the mentor trope, but that's not the point.
Yeah, like when I see Norman, I don't expect Bruce Wayne or in some cases, Gomez Adams. That's the other character he looks like to me, and it's like he looks like every other fictional character except Norman. Why?
Yeah. That, though, to be fair, ignore more Gomez. Like if they fully like leaned into Gomez appearance for Norman, that would I would accept that. That would be funny.
Yeah, but it's like, I want more commitment to the bit because I feel like Norman would be in Adams. Like, where is the Adams family AU for Bendy? That sounds hilarious. Hi Fiddle, good to see you.
Hi, Fiddle. The graphic novel in the
Oh my
same
god.
style of Crack Up Comics. Any of the three.
Yeah. No, Victor's been doing a lot of fun exploration with the comics lately, and it's been awesome. I love
Nice.
it.
Nice,
But
nice.
yeah, no, just the crack up comics were great. And okay, I'm gonna be real with you. I loved Guffy today. Guffy was great. But why was it not a character we've seen before? Like,
Yeah,
is is Guffy going to come back? Is Guffy ever going to be relevant to anything again? And also, why was he not in the crack up comics?
there's I don't remember the name, but in the first realm of the comics, like in the beginning comics, there was the lady that was Bendy's neighbor. Why
Oh
wasn't it
yeah,
just
Ruby Goldberg.
yeah, why wasn't it just Ruby?
Yeah, why wasn't it Ruby? Because Ruby's whole thing was because she's based off of Rube Goldberg machines, because that's the thing. Um, yeah, like the whole thing read like, oh, it's supposed to be a Bendy escape room. Why didn't we have her helping us with some, or not helping us, but like having set up this convoluted thing? Like, what?
Yeah. Have a good day, Colonian. Um
Take care.
and
Yeah, no, is Guffy is the first human tune we've seen. He's in the same style as the lady from the Syndicate comic.
yeah. I mean I guess technically Charlie, but we're not even
What is Charlie?
yeah.
Some people are like he's a monkey, some people are like he's a leprechaun. What is Charlie?
Yeah. We know Edgar's a spider. We know Boris is a wolf. We know Alice is an angel demon hybrid. And we know Bendy is a demon. Barley's a sailor. Wait, is Barley's technically human, isn't he?
We don't know.
Oh,
His species is sailor.
man, sailor, one of my favorite animal species. He
Let
is an
me
enigma.
I just grabbed the crack up comics. Okay. So Ruby appears pretty early on, but there's also that one random tune that Bendy draws a portrait of. He looks pretty human. He has a bowl cut in the 30s.
Eh, Larry, Curly, and Mo. Mo has a.
Yeah, no, you're right, you're right. There's sheep. Why have we not gotten the sheep in any? It's silly. Oh, we got baseball players. Just there are humans in these comics, but we just don't see much.
Yeah,
So it was great that we got Guffy today. I liked Guffy. I like that we have a humanish tune. Takes me back to Silent City. Do you think Guffy will be in Silent City? That'd be great.
I think so. I feel
Please.
like here's my hope. My hope is that advertisement for the Silent City is it's one of those cases where marketing screws over the is not representative of what the game is.
Yeah, I mean, I think, maybe it'll have just a lot of blood in it, but I don't expect it to be like a mature story. I mean, maybe a little bit. It gives Mafia vibes, but like, hmm.
Like I want the Silent City to be like the leaked video. Like
Yeah, we want it to be like the prototype.
I want it to be like the prototype. I splash of Who Framed Roger Rabbit and you know and keep it like that. That is enough of difference from Benny that it's like no, keep it like that. I don't want to go in and come of it feeling like, huh, man, this feels like This was just a Bendy AU of a certain well-known indie animation going around.
You know, I feel that. Speaking of which, so Beth, I mean, I think I briefly talked to you about this, but for everyone who doesn't know over in the audience there, um, we there recently there has been an announcement from some small indie studio, or maybe it's not, I don't know, about Oswald Down the Rabbit Hole.
Yeah,
This this film is bizarre. I can't believe that somebody out there, well, actually, I can believe this, that somebody out there said, "Oh, we're gonna take Oswald the Lucky Rabbit and we're gonna make a horror flick where he traps an animator who is apparently the actor was really popular in one of the Ghostbusters reboots. I don't know.
yeah.
Um,
Putting the
and
Twitter
he, yeah.
the in the chat. Zion,
Oh,
this is
you,
the one that film posted about that we had engaged.
yeah. Like it's interesting. I I don't know what to make of this thing. But everybody's like, "It just sounds like Bendy," and I'm like, "Yeah, it does." But then somebody was like, "It sounds like a cartoonist nightmare from the Merry Melodies," and I'm like, "I've never seen this. I need to look it up." And I looked it up and I'm like, "Wow, this is just Bendy. I love it." Or at least it's what I expected Bendy to be before I actually got into it.
Eat.
And it's really good. But you guys should go watch a cartoonist nightmare. It's a really good 7.5 minute short if you can find it.
Yeah,
But it's like, I wish Bendy were doing more of that. Like, I think back to Tombstone Picnic where it's like, oh, there's the shadow and it might be Henry. Like, gimme. Please. Give me more tunes. Give me more tunes with the horror. Like, if you want to take cartoons as the aesthetic and then like make it terrifying, do things that I wouldn't expect to see in a cartoon. Do things that are dark. Cartoons are dark, of course, but you
you know,
know,
play
unexpected.
play with this, play with your aesthetic, because because you know, if you don't play with the aesthetic, then you just got black and white indie horror game that involves mascots number 3221.
Yeah. Like, also you and I have talked about it's like the cage introducing the color red into things I haven't really cared for so far with the screenshots we've seen, but Silent City introducing red into the black and white. I like that.
Yeah,
I like the prototype footage was, hey, let's punch these tunes and oh, there are organs. What? Cuz you don't expect that. Like tunes are tunes. Tunes don't have whatever that is, but no, they do. And it's great. And
yeah,
I love that. It's like that's a good way to do the unexpected. But it's like, today we got the red in Bendy, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it. I
yeah,
like it better than I have for the cage teasers. I'll say that much. But
yeah.
I'm just a little lost.
The prototype managed to, like, because I think if I remember correctly, the red is first introduced when we see the totally not Alice Angel lady, and we first see it in like some of the aesthetic pieces, and then it's like, oh, there it is under the red, so it's an accent color. It's not the main focus. And then with some of the
Yeah,
cage stuff, it's like it's the accent
very.
color, all caps, bolded, italicized. And it's like, oh, okay, you're doing the red equals scary.
Yeah, it's like, and red can be scary. Red's very scary, but I got questions. Like, you know. Oh, speaking of which, would you like another secret from Secrets of the Machine?
Sure.
I
Yeah.
forget where this was, but somebody tweeted out today, and if I can find it again, I'll grab it for you. But somebody tweeted out, yeah, so the number of so on that pedestal in the middle, there were different numbers of lights that were red versus yellow, and somebody did some counting and decrypted it to say that it looks like throughout the updates, it spelled the word cage, like by using one of those cipher things that
Yeah.
UARG people love so much.
Cool.
That's not my bag. Yeah,
That's
so, well, now that we've gotten another update, I'm curious if it spells anything else. Probably not, but yet, but at some point.
You know what? It would be funny with the amount of updates that it's been having. If it just does the song lyric, despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage.
See, my first thought is, I'm coming out of my cage and I've been doing
Doing
just
just
fine.
fine.
But that's because I have a friend who loves that song. I've never heard the whole thing. I don't even know who it's by. I
It,
don't even know what the name of the song is.
it's the Killers, and their song is Mr. Brightside.
One day I'll remember that. It's not
Not today. That's fine.
today.
It's yeah. And I guess the other problem I'm having with like all the constant updates, like it's you're not giving the community a chance to breathe and decipher.
Yeah.
So like when it bricked, and like yes, I acknowledge and I understand and I know that it is now unbricked and it's fine. You can play it willy nilly. But
For now.
for now. But the problem is that the game was barely out 12 hours.
Yeah.
It was barely out 24 hours before it bricked, meaning if you came into it late or you were on vacation or you were at work or at school or whatever,
Or you were on
and
a time zone that wasn't Eastern.
yeah, or if you were on a time zone that wasn't Eastern and you found out and you tried to play it and then it's like, oh, you can't play it, gotta go find a YouTuber. But the YouTuber doesn't have 100% of the game. Nope,
No one does.
no one does.
Without cobbling together a lot.
And that's not fair. That is doing the opposite of encouraging people to become invested into your project. It this
Yeah.
this game, Secrets of the Machine, feels very alienating in a way
Like,
that I have my fears about the cages.
yeah. How do you think the cage is going to be alien? If you don't mind me asking.
I think like the main concern with the cage for me is that it's going to, outside of like the names Bendy, Boris, Alice, Joey Drew, and stuff, it's not going to be about this cartoon studio that tried to bring its creations to life or, you know, lock a copy of one of the old founders in a torture time loop for the other owners shits and giggles,
Yeah.
and it's just going to be this is a sci-fi horror situation in which you have to investigate this creepy, scary horror people who are trying to bring forth life from dead and
And sci-fi.
in sci-fi. And it's like I am into Bendy because I like the idea of cartoons being used and worked for malicious purposes. The idea of somebody doing, even to some extent weird science or magic to bring their
Yeah.
cartoons into a 3D space and, doing some fun body horror for it for,
Yeah.
shits and giggles. And my leaning is more of like, I like the occult, I like the magic, I like the spooky elder horrors. Let me play, let me just switch a couple of names and all of a sudden this is a Call of Cthulhu adventure.
Yeah.
And I don't want to feel like, oh, I I'm not a Bendy fan because you know I I'm the person in the 1920s costume when everybody else is in their 1980s dystopian punk.
Yeah. And it's like, I'm totally into Bendy embracing more flavors of things with horror and more flavors of things with cartoons, because there's a whole catalog of different cartoon styles that you could pull from that are really cool. Like, I don't have to, be just limited to Rubber Hose. I love the Rubber Hose a lot. It's one of my favorites, but my thing with it is it's like I did come here for certain things. And now those expectations are not being met, and I'm not sure what direction it's going. It does kind of feel alienating the cage because it's like, for me, I was one of those people that voted no on the polls of, do you want Bendy to be more mature? And it's not that I don't think Bendy can handle more mature stories. I think the way that this whole world is set up, it absolutely can. It's just, I want this to be something that everybody who's been playing it can continue to play. And at a certain point, I am gonna have to say no. Cause like, if you make it to be too much, I just I won't be I'm worried it's gonna go down a road I can't follow. And I
Yeah.
wanna be there for the next Bendy thing. Because I love this series. I love these games. I love these books. I love the comics. I love all of it. I love the people. Like, dear God, in the past couple years, getting to know the voice actors as not just voice actors and not just, oh, you voiced the character I love, but like as people, because they've been so personable and sweet with us. Yeah, it's like they're people that I celebrate with. They're some of them I call my friends. And I've got so many people in our fandom space that, are my friends that I love talking about this stuff. And I'm worried that it's going to go away at some point because the series just keeps going in directions that a lot of us don't vibe with. Now, I want the developers to make stories that are true to them. Stuff that they are really passionate about making, and I want that for every creator at the end of the day. I
Yeah.
want you to make what your dreams are come true. But at a certain point, it's like, what is the dream with I in some ways it's left me feeling like the things that I loved about Bendy weren't really there in the first place. And I hate saying that. I
Yeah.
want to believe that I saw something that was real there and that I haven't been misinterpreting it all this whole time. Um I'm working on a video essay right now that I'm having doubts if I can even record it and release it. Um where I'm talking about, what got me into Bendy in the first place and, all this stuff for chapter two's anniversary in a couple days. And it's like, I'm nervous because it's like, it's been really hard with all the stuff happening in the fandom the last couple months. Can I really say just how much I loved that time and place of chapter two was coming out? Just, is that same magic still there?
Yeah.
It's just, I've often compared it to like, it's trying to go back to a time and place that doesn't exist anymore because the time and place has changed, but also you've changed. We're not the same people we were when we got into Bendy.
Yeah.
We've grown. We have taste that is different, and
Give me 1 second. Or go ahead and
y-
put your Zion's asking for a link to your channel, cat. So
oh, thank you. Well, it is in the description, but I can link it as well because I realize that is easier for the people.
yeah,
Um, let me do that.
it's in the description.
Here
Or
you are, my dear. Hopefully that works, or not.
we'll see.
Phooey. Oh well. Ugh.
Um, yeah, I have to agree. It kind of feels like they're appealing to everyone, and therefore they're kind of appealing to
Appealing
no
to no
one.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. And Victor points out Riley's story was already a lot, and I enjoyed it. But if they can go on throwing punches without focusing on the follow-up, then it's like bad. Yeah, like when you were going through Riley's story, I'm like, oh, okay, she loses her parents in the car crash.
And then
She
she's obsessed with the car crash.
when she, so the car crash happens when she's 6. She's obsessed with it and stuff till she's 17.
There might be some alcoholism in there. We don't really know.
There's something about that, and then she gets hired by Joey Drew Studios, and then focuses super super heavily on it. And it's like on the one hand, I
And
understand, and people handle grief entirely differently depending on their situations and stuff. But I'm like,
and it's great to
wow,
have multiple portrayals of that, but
it it kind of felt a little bit like Batman.
like Batman,
Well, here's the thing, Batman loses his parents at like age 8 or whatever, super
you're
traumatic
right.
situation, and then he becomes Batman when he's older, and like in the case of Batman, you kind of see like, okay, even though I mean I don't truly let it fly with Batman, but the idea is kind of like, okay, Batman realizes and sees that he is in a position that he can try and implement change. He cannot make the change happen in his rich billionaire persona that he needs to go and
Put on a cape.
yeah, become the Batman. Riley, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, cool.
So she gets fired from the studio and then ends up at Gent? What's
Yeah.
the natural progression of that? Like, could we maybe get one more letter where it's like, hey, we're looking for people, and we noticed you while we were working at Joey Drew Studios, and it's like, hey, you want to come and work for us? We could really use your specialized skills, and then you're a car. Because let's be
Yeah.
real, they could have turned her into a car. I'd believe it.
Hey, why not? Um, Riley is giving villain energy. Yeah, it is giving villain energy.
Maybe?
Maybe it just kind of feels a little bit like it's like, okay, but like this is gonna sound so mean, but I was working through it. I'm like, okay, and I
Yeah, like,
there's no reason for me to care about this character. This isn't like Henry, where it's like, oh, this is a silly old man. I mean, yeah, I like how I like the way it was portrayed, and I like the elements of like, okay, going through and we see it. But I think the
yeah.
story itself is like, okay, how does this tie into Bendy? How is this
Yeah.
like,
Like, if you gave me very clearly she created Gasket and then was like, thrown out, and it's like, hey, lost the copyright to her character, I'd see some more stakes there. And that would be, that would be very much like the Walton Oswald story.
yeah? If
But like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
uh, I'm trying to figure out the word, so you go ahead.
Okay. I think for me, it's like when it comes to everything with Riley, I'm excited to have a new character, but I'm more excited about Guffy than I am her just because he was cute. But also, like, going to Riley herself, every time we get a new character introduced in one of these things, they're not relevant for more than that story. So, you expect me to believe that Riley's gonna come back and be important somehow? Okay. In which game out of the three that are coming? And whatever update is happening to Boris? Which one does Riley belong to? Because she doesn't fit in cleanly with the cage. She doesn't fit in cleanly with Silent City. She definitely doesn't fit in with Boris. So that leaves Bendy 3. And I'm sorry, are we doing the same thing with Bendy 3 that we did with Bendy in the Dark Revival, where it's like, oh, we have Audrey, new person, and then she's tied to somebody else that we know? Like, what's the deal here?
I'm not gonna lie. I was like, when I had saw the name, I'm like, okay, are we getting Joey's? All right, is this one of
Joey's niece!
Joey's niece? Or
Joey wouldn't fire his niece. Yes, he would.
well, my thought was like, okay, so this is either going to be one of the Ink children, this is going to be somebody related to Henry, or this is going to be another Joey Drew situation, and the story is not going to focus on this character as the character. It's as this character is related to the people that we have been told repeatedly are important.
Yeah. Like, if the next game is Riley, she is a Gent employee and we're exploring the Gent facilities with her, maybe that's what's happening. I don't know. Um, I'm not sure I want that, but I'm willing to see where it goes. I'm just, I'm still kind of hung up on the fact that this game is so similar to things that I associate with Amanda the Adventurer, and the name Riley isn't helping because that's the protagonist of that game. It's brought up for like 2 seconds, but that's the protagonist of that game.
Man,
And it's
these mascot horror protagonists really go they get around, man. He's going he's congratulations, Riley. You're getting your hours, man.
well, it's not even just that. It's like it also pulls a little bit from what Dark Deception is doing. Because they've got Agatha. The kid that's the monster in the I haven't played or
The
I
school?
haven't watched Dark Deception in ages. Yeah, the schoolgirl who's
Okay.
like, she died because of her dad, but also like weren't they the mother and the daughter in the drove into the ocean
Yeah.
and died? Like, isn't that what happened there? Am I crazy?
I think Agatha is a different monster, but she does. That's how you learn about that backstory stuff.
Oh yeah, for a main character's daughter,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, so it's like, I don't want to compare Bendy to the other mascot horror games or indie horror games that are out, but that's kind of what it's serving.
Yeah. It's. I do not want to. That was kind of my concern. It's like I don't want to go through the secrets of the machine and be like, oh, this is basically this AR. Here's how I'm uncovering the story, just like in this horror game or in that horror game, and then it's like, oh,
Yeah.
look, you want
Like
more
I
Riley,
don't
but in a book format. Sorry, just reading Victor's
yeah.
things. Like, yeah,
No, no, please do.
uh, Loki, you want more Riley, but in book format. I think she just worked better there than in a game. More room for introspective POV stuff instead of having through interesting in gameplay. I agree with you. I think,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it's like the first thing that I thought when we got Riley was, "Wow, you sound like Audrey if she were a book protagonist in this series." And it's like, "Wow, that actually works really well." And now I kind of want an Audrey book, but that's besides the point. Like, you know, we don't get a lot of introspection with these characters in the games, and I'd like more of that with Riley because it's like we get to know so little about her. The stuff that she's traumatized by is very important, but it's like, are we ever going to really hear how she feels about it?
is that going to be her only character trait? Is that she is a sad, traumatized girl TM?
Yeah, well, that was my worry with Audrey when we first got her. Like, okay, it's very obvious that the twist with this character is going to be she's related to somebody we know. And it's like, is that going to be the extent of her character? And no, Audrey's, she's a little bit she's got a bit of a dark sense of humor that's kind of fun. She's really pretty. Um she has no qualms whatsoever about just punching canisters and breaking her fist into them. I like that about her. She's
You know,
scared. I like how much she emotes, but like
I feel like she would be
what do
very, very fun with the school principal's office.
Oh yeah, no, I'd love to see like if she wasn't like homeschooled, I'd love to know what her deal is. That'd be so fun. But like Audrey is a character that even though I love her, if I walk away from Bat DR, what can I say about her other than she's Joey's daughter? Because that's the most important thing about her. Most of the narrative of Bat DR, Audrey doesn't have any agency over her character. Like, everything happens because the game says it has to happen, not because she has any particular motivation to do anything other than get home. And like doing these things, like she's kind to Heidi. That's what I can say about her. Audrey is characterized as being kind occasionally when you're not murdering a school of enemies.
Well, you got to do that to get your health. That's fine.
Yeah,
You can't
you got to do that to get your health. That's a gameplay function, not a story function. I mean, maybe it's a story function depending on how you want to characterize it, by all means. But yeah, no, we do not know if Audrey went to school or was homeschooled, but like, let's be real with ourselves. We don't know how Audrey ages. I mean, when most people were looking at that height chart for Riley, a lot of us were going, "Oh, is that for Audrey?" And it's like, "Wow, was Audrey a child?
yeah. Like if
Was she?"
we have we have like the timeline, assuming that she was created after the ending cutscene with Bad Tim, where it's like, Uncle Joey, tell me another one, which has been like retcon to, you know, if that is an ink child and stuff, which I think was all but confirmed. It's like
I'm pretty sure.
she's barely 10 years old at the start of
1960.
yeah 1963. She's barely 10 years old in 1973 when Joey dies, and we know Audrey's been working at the studio enough to where she's like, you know, she's doing she's doing the inking of the animating, which is, you know, is relatively not like the high road, but it's like that's something you gotta get yourself eased into in a sense with
Yeah,
the company. And
it's tough.
the best thing I can think of is like either A, it's a situation like Jack from Bioshock, where spoilers for Bioshock, I guess. Um,
Ooh,
Jack is genetically modified and genetically aged. Like he's born and like I don't know the specifics, but there's
they
like
mess with him.
and they genetically age him so like he's like 10, he has the body of a 10-year-old in like 3 to 4 days, and then
Suck.
basically they keep it like that, and so that way they can do his the mental programming and then age him up enough so that um when he's when they escape rapture, he's about a grown adult about the time they send him back a couple years later in order to go, kick some butt. And that's kind
Yeah,
of been my assumption, is that okay, Audrey is either genetically aged or genetically, she is physically this body of an older woman, but she is yearly or physically,
she has only existed for so many years.
yes. Or it's a case of the ink machine was like, okay, here we go. We're gonna just put you away for a little bit while we're getting transferred to a new location after Joey died, because that was kind of traumatic for all parties involved. Okay, thanks, bye. And then about
Hmm.
the time Wilson starts screwing around, they're like, toss into the abyss, into the studio. Congratulations. Nobody actually knows you're here and knows that you're actually an employee. Surprise! But
Surprise.
if Riley is part of Bendy 3, it's like, but what about Audrey? How are we like Ben Dark Revival went she went through a fourth closet guard. Yeah, exactly. It it's it's like, okay, cool, we can go transfer to another character, but we still have that entire situation with Audrey. Like, what was the passage of time with her being in the cycle? Do her
Yeah,
coworkers know what happened? How is she going to explain the little tiny demon? Like, I know the joke is in like all of the fan fictions is that she basically stuffs Bendy into her bag, runs back to her apartment, and then they just live there happily ever after with some growing
which is
pains.
fun, but
That's not like, what is the case? What's the situation? How are we? What are we supposed to take from it?
yeah. And then there's also like I'm just sitting over here, and this sounds absolutely ridiculous. Um, so like copyright law. Can Nathan? What if Nathan knew that Benji was a real person? Would he try to get custody through copyright law?
Um,
This is a horrible thought.
I guess the technicality is how. Hmm. I
My
guess it's.
son died. I want a new son. Bendy, you're my son. You can't take that him. He's my brother. No, he's my son. I own the copyright to Bendy. Therefore, he's legally mine. What?
I mean, we. I don't care what canon says. Nathan would probably adopt Audrey, regardless of. Hence why Joey never told Nathan, because he knew for a fact that the moment Nathan found out about the living conditions Joey was in with the small child, he would have been like, "Nope, I'm taking Uncle Nate taking care of her now."
Yeah.
But the next Bendy game, we get an Audrey versus Nathan custody battle. No, I'd be on board for it.
Bendy in the law degree.
Like, yeah, like there's world building questions that need to get answered that have come up because of the Dark Revival. And there are, and that things, while cool with other stuff, with like the cage and stuff and all that jazz, which is cool and awesome, but I guess the I guess it's the case of like, hey, what are the priorities of the dev team? Are you guys like, hey,
What stories are you trying to tell here?
it's cool we have the cage and find out how Henry got out and got the reel, but um, could we have an
This was not a story I needed to know the answer to.
yeah,
I thought it was pretty straightforward. He goes, okay, Tom and Allison, let's go rescue Henry. Let's get you out and let's go save Audrey through this back route I know about.
or Joey being like, hello, old friend. We're not friends. Not technically, but we are friends. Open door, please save my daughter. Okay, bye.
Like, that's what I'm expecting from the cage. I'm expecting it to be the Joey Henry tag team, where it's like, hey, you know, Memory Joey needs to get that reel. Henry knows it's in the pit. Like, it seems obvious for them to team up, get the reel from the pit, and then make their way to Audrey, and maybe, just maybe, we'll see them interact and have a story together.
That
Because
would,
guess what we have not seen yet?
yeah, we have, like, I guess that's the other, like, my other expectation for the Secrets of the Machine was that we were going to get kind of like the explanation of Joey Henry relationship, not,
Please?
or like Joey Gent explanation, or Alan Gray or something. And it's like, okay, cool. There's so much going on. Why should I care? Why should it matter? And the answer is,
Heck, if we know. I just like Henry and Joey's relationship is the crux of the series. There is no Bendy in the Ink Machine if Henry didn't leave the studio, because that's the event that sets everything else in motion. So why then have we never seen any iteration of Joey and Henry interacting? Like, I'm sorry, you've got cartoon clone of Henry and possibly cartoon clone of Joey. I think they should have a talk.
yes, I am with you, Zion. The fact that Henry is a clone, and they are very explicit about him being a clone, and he is not the real Henry. And while we haven't actually got confirmation on where and what Henry's doing, it's just like, why? Like, I was
I
thinking
think,
about it the other day. I was like,
yeah.
man, I really hope it's not a case of Mike trying to do everything to separate themselves from Bendy and the Ink Machine because he's like unhappy with how it was or how he's finished the game or how he treats the game. It's just kind of like, and it's more of a case of his idea of Bendy and the Ink Machine is not what Bendy and the Ink Machine ended up being, and so now he's trying to rewrite history, as it were.
So, like my grandmother.
Sure.
I'm kidding, of course. We just needed to throw some humor in there because it was getting dark.
Yeah.
Um, no, it's like I get it. Bendy and the Ink Machine is definitely not a perfect game by any means. But I think the thing is, it drastically changes the flavor of horror that the entire series is, but especially when you do everything that you did with Bat DR. And it's like that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it just kind of makes your players feel lied to, where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay, so I can't trust anything ever because you're just going to pull the rug out from under me as soon as I think I know what's going on. It's like that. I mean, I live in a universe where I feel like once I know the rules, they're constantly changing,
Yeah.
but like that especially makes me feel that way. It's just, it's wrong.
It for me, like that, like I've been vocal about my dislike for chapter 5 and the reveal of it being a loop yeah, Batum.
Yeah.
And
It's not a bad story. It's just a different flavor of horror from everything else, and that affects how you feel about it.
yeah, And for me, it's like, wait a minute, why should I? It did not answer the question of, okay, why should I care? If it's all
Yeah.
just a loop, why should I care? And then Bat DR comes around and is like, oh, BT dubs, Henry is not the real Henry, therefore, okay, why should I care? Like, I care about getting Audrey out because I see that she works. She is she, she doesn't have that paid time off, man. She's not going to be able to get out, and really, we don't want HR Nightmare Wilson walking around roaming the streets.
And also, like, I'd prefer Audrey not die. That would be great.
Yeah, but then so it's like, why should, like, we understand Audrey's horror because we 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 like, we know that she's real, and we know that she's got to figure out how to get out. Like, in Bat TM, if we wanted to establish that it was a time loop, have Henry say stuff that seemed out of pocket. Like, like, obviously the setting is supposed to be almost like 30 years after the 1920s. Okay, have him keep referring to like 1920s lingo, or add,
Yeah.
like,
Bee's knees. Let's go.
yeah, or like have something to establish, like, hey, something is either off with Henry or off with the situation, that outside of the
Like, there are
two
ways to be subtle, but also
studio.
direct.
Yeah, like, have the date on it be April 4th, April 14th or whatever, and have Henry keep mentioning like the holidays or birth,
Can't wait to go home to my wife for Christmas.
yeah, something like that. And so that way we as the audience are like, okay, something's up because Henry keeps mentioning Christmas. Is this a case of like FNAF 2 where it's like, oh yeah, by this time, by this time, you know, by the time he realized he made the mistake, it was too late to go try and fix the audio, and so he was just, screw it, why not? And then when chapter 5 happens, you go in and you see the apartment is decorated like Christmas. You see on the calendar it's like the 1st of December or something. And then it clicks like, oh, Henry came to Joey to visit because of holidays. Because then you also have the benefit of like, why did Henry go and visit Joey? Because, it was the holidays, the spirit of giving. Merry Christmas, Joey. I'm here to tolerate your weird spiel for half an hour. And then, surprise, I'm trapped in a cycle.
I mean, maybe he was coming over to invite Joey over for Christmas dinner. Because Henry seems like he'd be that kind of guy. It would be great for his characterization.
Neat. And then it's like, oh. And then you also have the thing of like, oh, it has Joey been, or like, has Henry been trapped in the cycle since Christmas, and it's now April? And then, I'm also of the camp of like, there should have been a way for Henry to break the cycle and get out.
Yeah. I mean, it does kind of surprise me that he hasn't figured out how to get out, because he seems like he could. But it's just like, what's stopping it?
Are you just want Henry? Is this just a case of you don't want to be rude to Wilson? Like, he's so excited, he's getting all of the things. The keepers aren't really listening to him, and you just want to make him feel better about himself.
Wow, I would no. That's really funny and cute, and I want it for a fan fiction, but I would not want that to be the canon. Oh my god.
I agree, Zion. Like, him randomly saying this again, like during a boss battle or a confrontation, or even like like after Alice does like her whole, I'm Alice Angel and I'm rah, and the lights turn back on. He's like, huh, I don't remember did she say that part in the last time or something? Or like going over to Boris and just like, huh, was she, has she always been like this or something?
Like, I kind of tuned that out.
Yeah. And there are ways to write loops well, and to do it well, and to do the it's all just a dream situation in a way that doesn't make it feel like the audience just wasted their time. But then to compound it with Oh, BT Dubs, the guy who's stuck in a loop, was not actually the guy who was stuck in a loop. It's just,
Well, it yeah, and it starts to call into question: are any of them real? Like, I feel like the whole point of making them clones was to downplay Joey's crimes and say, "Oh, Joey Drew didn't kill real people." Making fake people that are, based off of people that you used to have as employees and then torturing them endlessly is not much better. Yeah,
no,
you remove the murder, but they're still dying.
you're still dying, and it's also like, really? Go to a smash room and pay the guy $20 to smash a bunch of projector stuff. Come on, Joey, there's better ways of going about this.
Projectors are expensive, man.
But smash rooms are fun.
They are, but aren't they a fairly modern invention?
I'm sure there was like an equivalent. Let's be real. I'm sure Joey Drew could have gone down the street, asked a asked a guy like, "Hey, I need to get rid of some anger. Can you help a brother out? Here's a 20." And the guy be like, "Yo, I got you. We got somebody go grab Squealer Steve."
You know, I'd be into that.
Like, there are so many different ways. There are so many paths Joey Drew could take to handle his anger and frustration that this just seems an odd choice outside of the fact that this was meant that if this doesn't happen, the plot doesn't happen, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, it makes perfect sense to me. Like, you and I have talked about this a bunch together, but I don't know how public we've been about it all. I think there's a lot in Bendy that has a lot of interesting things going on. I just when your central story is this is a conflict between Henry and Joey, and then both of these characters are removed from the equation and they've got clones in their place, that's fine, but we need some character motivations.
Yeah, there needs to be a reason for us to care
Yeah.
about um there needs to be a reason for us as the players to care and to like be willing to separate and figure out what happened. Okay, so rage rooms were
Yeah.
probably invented in 2008 in Japan or earlier. Okay, fair enough. And then make Joey full
Well,
blown evil. We can't have that because Mike keeps sticking his foot in his mouth and keeps getting compared to Joey Drew. And that would look really bad if the IRL studio had an IRL Joey Drew that was bad.
oh,
Sorry. Um,
see, it's like no, I feel what you're saying. I just I think the thing about it is when it comes to Joey Drew, I mean, we talk a lot about the Joey Drew redemption arc. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. I think I'm at the point where I'm listening to my friend Shaz and the things that she's been saying, where it's like maybe we don't call it a redemption arc. Maybe we say, hey, Joey attempted to be a better person, but it's like that's not all that's going on there.
yeah, I don't. Okay,
Like,
Theon says I don't mind getting being the new central villains, but why them? Why replace Joey? Yeah,
yeah, like if the thing is, Gent is still to a certain extent the consequences of Joey's actions. Um, and it's like I want to see what Joey commissioned them for, and I don't think we're gonna see that if we get more of Gent. Like, it feels like Gent's whole thing with experimenting with people is very separate from the rest of Bendy, and I don't mind that, but I do kind of question what were Gent's goals? Like, okay, so Joey wanted living cartoons. First of all, why? Like this is the thing that I still can't fathom. Why did Joey want living just
yeah,
to say he could? Like what was his plan here? Was
Yeah,
he making living cartoons so he had, like, actors to direct for his shorts instead of having to draw them? Was this to replace the animators? Because that would make sense given his vendetta against Henry, but genuinely? Was it just for the parks? Like, it just
yeah,
seems like a lot of trouble to go to make a whole cartoon character to exist in a theme park.
yeah. Now that I think about it, I don't think we've ever gotten a canon explanation for why the living cartoons.
Yeah, like, it's not like we're replacing a dead child. Um,
At least
instead
there's
we're
that.
making a child that could die.
But he's not
But it's
evil.
like, yeah,
He just happens to have a lot of dead kids.
yeah, he really just is responsible for a lot of dead kids. I mean, he's a little more unhinged in Fade to Black. Definitely leaning on evil there just a little bit. But like, yeah, he's not evil. He just well, he's not evil in the way where it's like, he's trying to go for world domination or anything like that. He's Joey. Joey's his own flavor. You
Yeah,
see, Shion, that's just that's just FNAF. It's just FNAF.
yeah.
So let's be real. One of my expectations for Secrets of the Machine was that it was going to be security footage. Like, you know how going into FNAF Security Breach, there was the Steelwool website where it's like, hey, we got that desk with all the security stuff at it. It's like I was thinking it was going to be something like that where we had a game of looking at security cameras, like FNAF, and we were going to notice things on them because that's a big trend in the gaming these days.
Hmm,
It was not that at all. No gent security footage.
yeah, that would be nice. Some like we would have spent the same amount of time looking at the security screens because I remember I remember when Pokemon Sword and Shield, like before they came out, they did the like I don't want to. It was like a 12-hour live stream of one of the
Oh
forests,
yeah.
and there was like maybe three new Pokemon that showed up.
Yeah, like Galarian Ponyta, yeah.
And poor, I think he was the guy who ran the Cerebi website. He spent
Mm,
that entire day staring at that video footage, and wow, it was
poor
bad.
guy.
Cause like because it wasn't like, oh, random, they showed up all the time. It was like an actual nature footage where there was nothing for several hours at a time, which
Yeah, I heard about that.
which in theory is fine and cool and like sure, but this is,
But any kind of management of expectations.
yeah, management of expectations, and it's also a video game. If I wanted to watch footage of dead air in the forests, I'd go watch real footage, a real live stream of like
Birds.
birds and stuff. When I see a Pokemon thing, I want the Pokemon thing, man. But that's besides
And it's
the point.
like, and it's not even like an instant gratification thing. Like, I don't mind waiting for something cool. Like, that's fun for me. Like, I love seeing what comes down the line and I can think about all this fun stuff in the meantime. But, like, I don't know. There are some pieces of media where it's like, you don't want to make the wait too long. It's got to have balance.
Yeah, it's managing expectations and also remembering that yes, you are doing it quote unquote realistic or whatever, but there's also a reason why we play video games in the first place, why we enjoy these crazy worlds, because they're not real life.
Yeah. Like there's something about, tying it into real life that can be really fun and engaging when it comes to, you know, when it comes to like, telling a story. But a lot of us enjoy fiction because it gets us away from reality. Pokemon, it's not realistic. Screw that. Like, again, yeah, no, if I wanted nature footage, I've got this lovely feed of the aquarium that I can, that's just a constant live stream. I can go watch the jellyfish. You just sit
Yeah,
there and jellyfish on my screen while ambient music plays in the background. Great. Um, I don't come to Pokemon for that. I don't come to Bendy for realism. Like, you don't need to have it be one-to-one with reality by any means. Um, I just I don't I don't get it.
Yeah. Also, see you later, Victor.
Take care, Victor. Love you.
Yeah, it's you just need to balance. Let's just be transparent. You don't have to be like, oh, everything's here and here's exactly how we do it. But it's like, let's be a little bit more clear so that way people don't jump to conclusions. So that
Yeah.
way people can manage their expectations. And
Mhm.
there's and so YouTubers and people who stream and stuff can adequately prepare so that way when they're getting ready to you know so that way they don't have to try and figure day of while they're streaming live to get their game running, and then all of a sudden find out, oh crap, my game's updating anyways even though I had the updates turned off.
Yeah,
Hopefully
like,
I don't
why
get
did it
bricked.
do that?
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, it was cool to have different secrets throughout the day, but I feel like there was a way to do it without bricking the game. Like, what if, hypothetical here, we had it so, the farther you went, the more the secret in the middle changed. Or it's like, you go through certain runs and you boot it up so many times, and, maybe one time you boot it up and it's bricked. But then the next time you boot it up, it's fine. Maybe you randomize. Just something. Something so that your game isn't inexplicably unplayable, and something so that everyone has the chance to possibly see the secrets.
Yeah.
Because, like, at the
And
end of
let
the day,
people
this
know.
is pressed for this. Yeah. Like, when they say the game has updates, I didn't expect it like this.
Yeah. Just-
And also, uh, I have admittedly, I'll just looked real quick. There are some pretty scathing reviews on this thing.
Ooh, shall we read them?
I am not reading them, but it's just like, it's a free game, but people have a lot to say about it.
Okay, curiosity's getting for the better of me. There there may be some silly. I may do a silly review, what silly voice reading. Okay, let's see.
Oh my god. A lot of people were recommending it poorly, after the house got boarded up, and rightfully so. Yeah, you guys are correct.
Okay. Okay, there's some nice reviews giving it proper, like here's a suggestion for you, Mike. Hey, maybe have a weekly update instead of this hour.
Yeah.
Um,
Again, I haven't closely. I just been scrolling because I need the stim.
yeah. To yeah, yeah, pretty much. Like I'm glad that they yeah. Unfortunately there was nothing that was super like the negative reviews are very clear are very reasonable, well put. There's no I mean the one that was like my door has wood over it. It's kind of funny, but nothing like 7.8 out of 10. Too much water. Yeah. It's
Like, is it legal to brick your game?
I don't know. That like out of all the things, it's like I don't want Bendy to deal with more legal trouble because we've had, there's the Fat Mojo controversy. There's the
Yeah,
question, the 50 employees in Canadian labor laws. We don't. It, it's like why? It's the one review that I saw that's sticking with me is like, hey, Mike, this is what you should do for the game. Update it like every week, every other week, or something so it doesn't interfere with the cage. But update it with story stuff talking about more people that worked for Joey and or more people like Riley who ended up working for Ghent and kind of exploring more of the story so we can see how it goes. Um and then kind of expanding more so it's not just, balancing the constant updates versus the secrets.
Yeah. It's like I feel like that would be a really good way to handle it. I don't know if there will ever be a version of this game that has a story other than Riley's there. I will be very curious to see if that's the case.
Yeah.
Um, hmm.
Like I guess my thing with Riley is like, okay, we know she worked at Joey Drew Studios. We know after an undetermined amount of time, her constant obsession over the car that killed her parents cost her her job at Joey Drew Studios, and then she went to go work for Ghent.
Well, either worked for Ghent or ended up a test subject for Gent. We really don't.
It's
It
both.
could be either.
Let's be real. 450 a week or whatever, or 350 a week, as Archie
350 a
put it.
week to die. Yeah, speaking of, where was Archie in this?
Yeah. Like you figure the one guy who we know has done stuff with Ghent,
Other than Steve.
other than Steve, but nobody really cares about Steve except when it's
No,
convenient.
excuse you. I am, I am very invested in Steve.
Well, you know what I mean.
No, I know. For real talk, though, I do know a really big Steve fangirl. She was in the chat earlier. Oh
Aw.
my god. Fiddle loves Steve. Steve is good. I want more of Steve.
Yeah. Yeah. We we already had all these characters that were part of the that we knew did something to. Why not go more? Instead, we have Riley, who may be our next protagonist, maybe a side character, maybe an
Maybe
antagonist.
dead.
I'm Yeah, we don't know. It's like you have given us
Like,
just enough to be technically interesting, but it's like, okay, but what? What next? What now? How? What are we
yeah.
gonna do?
And it's not even just that. It's like, this is a new art department person. How many art department people have we had that have not been important at all?
Yeah,
Like, putting aside my love of, the Dreams Come to Life crew, we got a bunch of art department people in that DR, and none of them are ever going to get expanded upon. Like, replace Riley with Jane, there's
mm-hmm.
no difference.
Yep.
Like, I'm sorry, the next game could have been a Jane Todd story. I would not have wanted that, but it would have been nice to see Carly expanded on.
Yeah.
I have issues
Yeah, Buddy.
with Jane.
Buddy report. Hell,
Buddy would be great. Abby would be great.
Abby is important because she brought Henry and Joey together.
Yeah, like, okay. Like, no joke. So, you and I talked bingo cards before this thing, and we never finished making it. Um, but I made a separate one for myself, and one of my predictions was there was going to be a Toon Alice in this one somehow. I was wrong about that, but I'm waiting for Bendy 3, because I don't think the cage is going to do it. But Bendy 3, I'm expecting a perfect Alice. And I'm expecting it to have some ties to Abby. Just, please.
Or Abby Proxy, because,
Yeah.
now that the books are not canon, are explicitly not canon, we do need to have the origin story for Henry and Joey. You
Yeah.
can't just have
How
us.
did they meet? Like, how did they meet? Why did they form the studio together? How did this happen? And it's just like, the illusion of living, I would like to believe that one is important to all of this. Like, why would you make me sit through that if it wasn't? Because I'm not gonna lie, all the other Bendy books I got done in a couple of days. Illusion of Living took me 5 months because it was painful to read. Not because it's bad. It's not bad.
Because
Because
you're trapped in
Joey
an
is
elevator with
insufferable.
you're trapped in an elevator with Joey Drew.
Yeah, pretty much. Get me off the elevator.
Who do you want to
But
be
like when
trapped?
some yeah, go ahead.
Who would you rather be trapped in an elevator with, Wilson or Joey?
You're not fair. Stop that. No, it's like I am very here for like I would rather be stuck in the elevator with Joey because Joey would just talk my ear off. Wilson I would fear for my life. Joey can't kill me in the elevator. He could just annoy the crap out of me. And frankly, the buttery smooth tones of Dave Rivas are never, never a bad thing. Um but yeah, I like I can't. I can't. Just Joey jumps from topic to topic and he doesn't do things in chronological order. And I like The Illusion of Living because it is essentially a Joey Drew character study. That's the important part of it. Also, we get a detective story, which was something I didn't know I liked, but I do.
Yeet.
And I would like more of Sinclair. Please bring Sinclair back.
Would be nice.
He will never get brought back unless he's the protagonist of Silent City or something in Silent City. Please bring Sinclair Silent City. I want Joey to turn Sinclair into a cartoon just because it'd be hilarious. There's no reason for this to happen. There's no rhyme or reason for this to happen. I just want Sinclair to be trapped in the body of Toon and be like, well, this may as well happen.
That old AU idea I had, where it's like, oh yeah, Sinclair gets Joey trying to help Sinclair after Sinclair shows up like fatally wounded and is like, here we go. I can fix this. Machine, help me. And
Yeet.
Machine's like, I was not prepared for this. Here, have a world. Ta-da! And then Joey's like,
Ta-da!
fuck, how do I fix this? And Sinclair is just like, you know
Yeah.
what? This could be worse.
Yeah. I guess that is what one of my questions about Silent City. Like, I love Silent City in concept, but where is the silent? Like,
Yes,
so
Roger
we have a
Rabbit. Sorry.
yes, we love Roger Rabbit in this house. Oh my god. But like where is Silent City in all this? Cuz like it's so different from everything else with Bendy. The coloring's different, the stylization is different. Where is it? Like, we know that Joey has created this cartoon world and that's where everything is happening, but is he able to make more than one? Or is this a part of the same world or just in a really distant corner? Like, you make a Minecraft map and it's like, okay, everything with a studio is here. And, like, if you go like 20 paces over there, you have this other thing that's a dungeon that's, Silent City. Like, what's the deal here? Is it obvious I don't know how Minecraft works?
It's all good.
I
Truly,
guess
the answer is Joey just did the Silent City is the prototype after the Nightmare Run world, and he's just like,
yeah.
okay, let me try people this time. Oh, oh, okay, that didn't work out too hot, but that's kind of close to the vibe I'm going for. Yay!
Yeah,
The
like,
ink machine does what it wants. Truly, it is sentient. It is a cat.
mm, I have questions.
So many questions.
So many questions in this place full of questions.
So many secrets.
Yeah, like, at the end of Silent City, are we gonna, open the door and hey, look, it's the cycle. Like, I don't know.
Cycle shows up, and it's like, huh, okay. Joey Amater. I believe that.
Joey would be a modder. Like, I think back to Fade to Black, and one of the things that I really enjoyed about it was that we had a projectionist cameo, and it's like, hey, what is the projectionist doing in chapter 2 of Bendy? Like, we go through a little bit of chapter 1, we go through a little bit of chapter 2, and there's the projectionist in the music department. Why?
Norman got so
Because yes.
because Norman got lost, and Joey was like, "You know what'd be the funniest thing ever?
You
I
scared a bunch of kids.
go, my minion, scare those small children. No, I am perfectly sane."
He is not okay. Um, I just I'm very amused by Joey. He's great. He was especially great in Fade to Black, but oh my god, it's just he goes and he's like, there's that whole recording thing where he's like, he's speaking to them through the audio logs. Where is that in a Bendy game? That's genius. Please let somebody talk to me through an audio log. Please make it a walkie-talkie. Please let it be Wally.
Yeah.
Like, I want Wally Franks to be my comedic relief tutorial. Please.
Hey, man, looks like you're in a bit of trouble. Don't worry about it. I'll help you get out of here. And you can help me get my keys so Mr. Lawrence doesn't put me into a trash can again.
Yeah. Like, it's
Like
just, there's so much potential with that idea.
the cycle says, it's cycle time, and cycles all over the place.
No, don't morb. Oh, we got some Wally love at the chat. Yes, Mr. Franks. He didn't make it out alive. He couldn't have made it out alive.
It would be nice to know what is he doing? Is he
Like
having fun?
we hear that he's down in Florida with the missus and the grandchildren, but like, you know, his name was on the Ink Machine blueprints. He has that weird intro in The Lost Ones. I don't believe he's alive. If he did get out of there, you see that maybe that's really what I want. Maybe I want a game where Wally gets called back to the studio.
Yeah. Let,
I want to play as Wally.
well, let us understand what's exactly going on. Wally's kind of, I did have a theory once upon a time, long time ago, before chapter 5, I believe, where it was like,
Yeah.
oh, the reason why everything went foobar, maybe it came out at the same time as FNAF, or not FNAF, but him, chapter whatever, was
Yeah.
because because I remember Thomas Connor makes a line talking about Wally and how Wally doesn't pay attention
Yeah.
with the machine, and he emphasizes how important it is to pay attention with the machine,
And then he doesn't pay attention with the machine.
and then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah. And then there was, they went back and updated things with chapter 3 and it's oh wait, are we talking about the same log where he's like, no, don't do the thing with the pressure. Is that the same log or is that a different?
Maybe, I don't know off the top of my head, but the point
Yeah.
is, it sets up very well for Wally. The one time he doesn't do the job properly is when the ink machine busts, sucks everybody into this essentially hellhole, warping and twisting them into mockeries of themselves. And after some time, they are barely able to send out a letter to the outside world, which gets to Henry, and Henry comes in, and they're all like, "Hell yeah!" Well, the ones that are relatively sane are like, "Hell yeah, he can save us," and he is the one who is supposed
Our
to save
savior.
us. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm just like writing Searching the Depths. Where it's just like, Wally's about to be very relevant to this story, and I can't wait. Like, oh my god. Eventually I'll get back to writing this thing, I swear. But it's like, Mr. Franks, you don't get to get away from things that easily. You gotta pay for your sins that you may or may not have committed.
He is the chosen one. Yes.
Listen, well, and I didn't believe that this was the case at the time, but I really like how fans play with this, so I'm playing with it. The idea that Wally is the ink demon. Like, everybody was like, "Oh, Joey's the ink demon," or "Wally is Boris." I'm like, "No, Wally's,"
I mean,
and he's really upset about it.
he did have that one audio log where like it's um he's talking about how
If
everybody's
they don't
so
realize who the real genius is.
maybe it's the one where he's talking about like how everybody's really upset and really sad, downtrodden. It's like, hey, we're making cartoons,
Oh,
laugh a
oh
little.
yeah, yeah, no, that's a different one.
Yeah, and it's like,
It's
oh
like,
yeah, I could see him being,
everybody's walking around like grandma just died.
and it's like, Mr. Drew or Mr. Franks, um, you're a cartoon studio in the 1930s. Yeah, a toon bendy. Like Wally gives vibes of like, yeah, he should be like, if anybody
He's
was
a
gonna
little
end up
guy.
as a perfect bendy, it would probably either be him or Henry.
See, that's what the next game is about. We solved it. We
How's that?
solved it. Honestly, I remember being really into oh, what was it? The Vampire Inside Me's comics where Henry was a perfect bendy. Of course, I also really like Henry as a Boris. Like Henry as a toon makes a lot of sense to me. Like that's why we didn't see his face. That's why Sammy's like, "You look familiar to me." It's like, you know, by the way that they've written the timeline at this point, Sammy and Henry would not have known each other because of when Sammy is hired, unless Joey's lying about it. Hmm.
Joey Drew lying? Perish the thought.
Ah, blasphemy, I know. But, like, honestly, like, wasn't Sammy hired in 1932 and Henry was always already gone by that point? Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like, and then Susie comes into the picture in either 33 or 35, I can't remember, and with Alice, and, things go from there. So Henry doesn't know Alice, but Alice knows Henry. Um, Sammy's like, "You look familiar to me," but they wouldn't have known each other. So, like, eh? Like, I'm totally into the fact that maybe he was actually gone, but I don't believe he was. I don't believe he actually left for
Yeah.
that early in the timeline.
Well, especially since he's like the co-founder. He's considered like the top
Yeah.
dude outside of Joey.
And also, like, Alice wouldn't come to exist for another couple of years after he was gone. And it makes you wonder, did Joey like steal from his drafts for Alice? Did
Did
he
Sammy
commission
steal
Henry
it?
from afar? Did did someone else make her?
I could believe that Sammy stole Alice from Henry and just like, no, this girl needs to be mine.
We need a woman.
Okay.
Like, and also there's the fact that, like, at the beginning of the original version of the handbook, and I think still the new one, there is a stamp on a letter that I believe says Pasadena in 1946. It would make a lot of sense if Henry was there through 1946, or at least somewhere in 1946 he leaves and Joey's really fresh with his feelings and everything goes wrong. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think, like, when we have that whole thing, 30 years seems like a long time. I thought it was they worked together for 30 years. Or maybe it's been 30 years since they last talked. I don't know. But the 30 years thing, it, it gets me. Maybe they knew each other for 30 years and then Henry left. Maybe he didn't work there for that long. They just knew each other. They were friends for 30 years before Henry disappeared.
Yeah. It's it's very weird.
It's a weird timeline, and I feel like Henry wasn't there for just a year before disappearing. That feels dumb. Joey, why are you obsessed with a guy that you knew for a year?
Joey, this isn't
Like, you
doing
could have.
any Joey, this isn't doing you any favors in the Joey Gag argument.
It's really not. I mean, Adrian Crest has not helped this, given the whole red bow tie thing, but I digress.
Oh man.
The point is, we have a lot of feelings.
Yeah. A lot of feelings.
And we haven't even gotten to, like, putting a proper theory out there.
Yeah,
These people are in for one hell of a treat.
for sure. However, I think we probably should start with our final thoughts,
Rapping
wrapping up, because
on
I'm getting
Secrets of
yelled
the
at by all
Machine.
three critters.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's fair.
yes, the
Yeah.
red bow tie. I'll let Kat take it away from there regarding
To
that.
my understanding, and I may be getting this wrong, historians in the chat, please don't kill me. The red bow tie thing, where it's like Joey in the Illusion of Living makes a very specific note about he has this red bow tie, doesn't even remember why he has it. A red bow tie at that point in history, it was a sign you were gay. That was a sign that you were looking for other men to kibitz with, my dude. Um, why do you have that, Joey? Why? It was one of those secret signs to let people who were in on it know, hey, I'm one of you. Cause that was frowned upon in public. You gotta have your little secret subtle signs right. Haha.
Yes. The equivalent of saying you were a friend of Dorothy, as it were.
Yeah! That's a good way of putting it. I like that. Yeah, just it was a time. So I was really amused by the fact that when we get to Bendy in the Dark Revival and we see Bendy in color, he has a red bow tie, and it's like, ah, just like his dad.
And he was sexist.
Where'd you get it from, Bendy?
Yeah. But I think that I don't really have any final thoughts.
I do.
Go for it, Kat. Give your thoughts.
No, 414 was exciting this year. We've never quite had a teaser like this before. Do I think that it needed some polish? Do I think that it was definitely far from perfectly executed? Yes. But did I have fun with it? Yeah. I mean, yesterday was a really good time, and I'm glad that we got to sit here and talk about Bendy today because I enjoy doing that with you and it's a good time. So even though the game is not perfect and I never want to open it again, especially after the ink demon on the pause screen. Thanks for that. Um, I'm glad that it happened, and I hope we learn from it if we ever do this again.
For
Please and
sure.
thank
Yeah. Yeah. This was fun. This didn't pan out as well
you. Yeah.
as I hoped, gameplay wise, but
Hey,
it was good.
the thing that we've learned that if we need to, I mean, I don't know how it ran on your end, but like if we ever need to do this gaming thing again, I'll learn to get better at horror games so we can do this. I'd do that for you. I like you, and also I could really use some help recording gameplay footage in the future because whenever I've tried to stream games, it has not worked out well. I wanted to stream Boris in the Dark Survival, but it just didn't happen. Maybe this computer will be better. It's different than the last, but
Yeah.
we'll leave
Well,
that for
we can figure that out next time. And
absolutely another day.
yeah, I think it was good. It was good talking to everybody. It was good getting our thoughts out. I'm glad to have learned what secrets are hiding in the secrets of the machine. I do enjoy.
Most of them weren't related to Gent.
Yeah, which was kind of weird given how it was kind of hyped up to be a again, but whatever. Point being,
Yep.
yeah, it was good, and perhaps we will figure out another method the next time. So, but with
Mm.
that, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out and vibing with us, and have a good rest of your day. Bye
Take
bye.
care.